All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the second session of the Crimson Flotilla series of games. Today's stars will be the Highwater Squad. Before we get to them, though, I have to go over some things, and if you tuned in Monday, some of this will sound familiar, so bear with me. So first and foremost, it's worth saying that I myself am new to the Lancer system in the grand scheme of things, which means I'm going to make mistakes and probably get a few points of lore and or the rules wrong. Same goes for my players because no one's perfect. I encourage being corrected as long as it's done in a civil manner and it doesn't really slow RP/combat down. Worst case, I will simply go with Rule 0, the GM is always right, and rule whatever keeps the RP combat moving and flowing. Second item is that it's looking good so far, but it's worth saying that both this group and the Flashfire group on Monday will be weekly games. Now, we might skip a few weeks here and there, but in general, we're going to try for every week. Last, if you aren't able to watch us live, then you don't need to worry. The plan and the execution is thus far is that a VOD will be uploaded to YouTube and a podcast version will be available on Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, wherever the hell you get your podcasts from. And if you need a link to any of that, it should be right below this stream if you're watching on Twitch. Last order of business is I have slightly changed my mic setup. I don't know how much jet noise is going to be picked up. My hope is that the jet noise will be reduced, but again, I will apologize. It's what happens when you live near a naval base. Jet noise is a way of life. But without any further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. So just like we did on Monday, we're going to keep things in character, and one of the players is going to do the opening log. So, Skeleton, I believe you have it.
Beginning log 001 for Highwater Squad. Log completed by squad member Tempest. I'm writing up the mission report for our squad. I was volunteered for it when I mentioned I was pretty used to filling out maintenance reports, and I guess that's close enough for the squad. Beginning the mission report proper now. Shortly after arriving and finding our assigned table, Table 4, and doing a quick introduction, our squad was thrown into a combat simulation. Just as an author's side note, though, pretty sure they're eventually going to sing songs about how Table 4 is the beginning of the greatest Lancer squad in history. When given the choice of difficulty for the simulation, a few of us showed only minor hesitation before selecting the "Oh my god" difficulty. We selected the legendarily difficult option because we heard another squad had just recently been the first to complete it in 50 years, and we weren't about to let ourselves be outdone. Now, some of our more nervous squad mates had to be convinced a little, but we convinced them with an argument that since this was a simulation, we ought to get the most practice we could while we are in a safe environment. Bloop, beginning simulation recap for logging purposes. The initial enemy layout looked fairly easy, but once the simulation adjusted for the difficulty, things started looking a little more interesting for us. The elite Rainmakers that Sheila, the simulation NHP, set us up against were going to be a real issue for us. Our squad came out fast out of the gate and took out several mechs in an opening blitz. Saint got his first kill, even if it was just a simulation, while the rest of the squad advanced across the narrow pathways we had available to us. The next minute took the wind out of our early momentum because the Rainmakers started setting up large killing fields of overlapping rockets, sticking us in a take damage if you stay, take damage if you move kind of scenario. In addition, a few of the assault grunts dove into the water to try and flank us. Unbreakable, living up to her call sign, just plowed straight through the rocket fields, making room for Mothman to follow right behind her safely. Around this time is when the Rainmakers really opened up on us as we got in range. They just absolutely started tearing into any of our mechs that moved forward. Anomaly's mech really taking the absolute worst of it. The Rainmakers managed to completely stall out our squad's advance while we were pretty much unable to answer their attacks. Anomaly eventually finally got us moving forward again with a great long-range rifle shot, assisted by drones from Unbreakable and Mothman. In one go, he just completely removed a Rainmaker from the battlefield. This gave Saint, Unbreakable, and Mothman room to advance and start taking shots at the other Rainmakers. One of the submerged grunts tried to pull a surprise attack from the water on Mothman, but he just shut it right down with some hard, quick tech attack work. Tempest also got around to rejoining the fight after being out of range for a while, and laid into one of the Rainmakers with some heavy close-range combat after boosting down the battlefield. Saint followed this up by just completely obliterating another Rainmaker with his assault cannon, and then the simulation declared us winners after that because the remaining forces didn't have enough power to keep fighting. Final damage count for the simulation: some mechs suffered structural damage, and one waterlogged inoperable mech, but no maintenance required due to being a combat simulation. Ending simulation recap. After a stellar performance in the simulation on Annapurna Station, Captain Harlock rewarded our squad with 2 licenses of any choice. He not so subtly hinted that we could get any license. And after some deliberation, we decided to call ourselves High Water Squad. Encryption detected here. Require higher access to detect or to read the materials here. Ending log 001.
Alrighty, very good. So, to bring everyone up to speed, so that was the recap of Session 0, and it was a very cinematic fight, if I may say so myself. But to sort of set the scene for how we're going to open, you all have been in stasis aboard the Revolution Thunderbolt, Captain Harlock's vessel, which is a member of the Crimson Flotilla. And you guys have been in stasis for an unknown amount of time at this point. However, you are starting to wake up from stasis. And this is going to be the first opportunity we have to introduce our characters to one another. So I'm just going to start with Unbreakable, and we'll work our way down. So as you introduce your character, tell us your call sign, tell us anything we need to know about their appearance, and then anything you think we should know either as players or that I should know as the GM. So we'll start with Unbreakable, and I'll throw your tokens on as they get introduced.
All right, Unbreakable wakes up out of the pod like she's done hundreds of times before. She's in her looks like she's in her late 30s, early 40s. And it's a hard late 40s. She's got scars, she's got tattoos, but she's still got some strength left in her because she just hops right up, gets over to the local bar, gets over to the local coffee machine, because of course you're going to have one of those in a stasis chamber, and starts making herself a pot as she did back in her days as a Union regular.
Alrighty. Up next is going to be Mothman. So Mothman, your pod opens and tell us what we see.
So the pod opens and out steps this guy who looks almost like full robot, but that's only because he's wearing a hard suit and a very weird, strange mask. You can see him just kind of like look around, kind of start stretching, just, trying to get over whatever this cryogen sleep feels like. He looks over at Unbreakable and he says, how's it going, man?
Hey, it's going the way it was going before we went in here, so I guess everything went up.
So you actually feel the same as when we went in, because I feel like absolute garbage.
I mean, yeah, I feel like garbage. That's what these pods do, but I don't think anything's missing or broken.
Okay, fair enough.
It's about then that Saints Pods pops open.
In Saints Pod is a man in his early 30s, tall, slender, a kind of brownish, slicked back hair, a pair of spectacles on his face, dressed in a button-down black priest's robe with a white collar, black pants, a secondhand kind of trench coat. He has his arms folded across his chest and has a resting face of a scowl, but as soon as the vapor of the pod disperses, his scowl turns into a grimace, he leans over the side of the pod and starts to dry heave.
Unbreakable walks past with a spare cup of coffee that she was already fixing before he had gotten out of the...
Oh, thank God, something warm.
While Saint was dry heaving, Mothman was probably just like, "Oh, dude, please don't! Oh God, please don't do it, or else I'm gonna start."
This is absolutely terrible. How long has it been?
Unbreakable looks up, tries to find like an intercom or something to let her communicate with like the rest of the ship, and goes, requesting current time
Sorry, I cut you off there, but yeah, there is a terminal. And if you look at the terminal, if your dates are correct, should be 2.5 years.
Huh, kind of short.
What does it mean, kind of short? How long?
2.5 years, it's about average.
What? Saint gets himself off and gets himself up and goes to scramble to the terminal.
Yep, sure enough, you see on the screen, if the date's correct, 2.5 years have passed. But for you, only a few minutes.
Oh dear God.
Could have been worse. The closest system to Cradle is 4.3 light years away.
The captain did not inform us it would take this long.
Well, it's about then that Tempest, your pod pops open.
So, popping out of this tube is a fairly average-looking man in his mid-20s. He's going to kind of stumble out, not looking... or mostly look like he's having trouble keeping his lunch down, if he had eaten any in the last 2.5 years. Something about the cryo wake-up thing always really gets to him. Sort of notable thing about him is dangling in his left arm is this sort of clearly unresponsive, artificial robotic left arm, which seems to have just sort of died while in cryosleep. It's something he built himself, and the hand can be swapped out for various tools and attachments. And the reason this is useful to him is because by trade, he is a mech mechanic, growing up in the far outer space mining ships, and out of necessity learning to keep the mining suits they used functioning when access to printers was limited. Usually he can be seen, or he's wearing a modified hard suit that's been made kind of more comfortable, better range of motion, and has been modified to kind of carry tools and convert to safety gear when he's working. So he's just going to stumble out and put his hands on his knees, bend over a little, kind of see other people are awake a little bit and see they're drinking coffee, and he'll just hold up a finger of one indicating that he would also really love a cup of coffee.
Saint is
Scylla
just
had been,
hyperventilating.
I like to think that that there's like a semi-automatic mode on it. Like it's basically a futuristic version of one of those machines where like you hit the button and then it drops a cup down and then fills it. You know,
A semi-auto coffee maker. Welcome to the future, everybody.
Yep.
Does it just like 3D print cups of coffee?
No, you wouldn't want to
3D prints the coffee itself.
Keurig sure has come a long way.
Tempest is going to try and grab this with his unfunctioning arm. This is when he notices that the dumb thing isn't working. Just bang on it a few times and grab it with his working arm.
All right. And as you're doing that, finally, last but not least, we have Anomaly. You wake up.
Oh God, I'm blind! You see a tall-looking man with a large, feathery black kind of hair to him, a front beard that stretches all the way to the front of his face, obscuring his eyes. No, wait! It's just his whole face is covered in hair. He turns around, having been in the pod backwards, and stumbles out to the floor, right? Oh God, why did I go in backwards? Whoa! As he scrapes his belly across the floor, crawling to the coffee machine with all his might. Right? Goes, one please! As he stumbles himself and grabs like Unbreakable's knees to right himself, get him back up into perspective.
Tempest will offer him his like half-sipped cup of coffee, and say, like
I
it's really
snatch
that
it with all the fury.
Yeah.
I snatch it up and just down it in one cup, and you see he looks warily from side to side, looking all over, even at the ceiling. And he looks strangely. His eyes peek. What's that? It's been 1,000 years! Oh, wait, no. Wait. I forget. Oh, no.
2 years!
Yeah, I forgot my zeros there for a second, guys. Don't worry. Oh, we've been in cryo for, well, a relatively long amount of time. If you talk about the parabolics and the averages, then it's kind of a moderate amount of time. Whatever. We've been in cryo sleep forever! Oh.
Saint's just looking up and down his body like, did we age? What are the ramifications of this?
I'm a scientist. I should know this. And yet, I'm oblivious.
I mean,
Kind of how they go nowadays, aren't they?
Saint just
Honestly,
frowns.
with a trip this short, we probably could have just gone awake and let the relativistic effects take care of it. I'd expect a few months subjective time on the ship.
You know, I just realized, though, we all missed our birthdays.
Like a bunch of them.
Yeah, at least 2. That kind of sucks.
You're worried about birthdays?
Not the birthdays! This must be corrected immediately.
Oh, God.
Hey, do we think this coffee machine 3D printer can print cakes? Like
You wanna
coffee
try?
cakes?
I think we could probably make it that way. If we
Whoever
really
Want it
wanted
to
to.
print coffee cakes?
Whoever feels the most brave, you may roll the very first thing of the campaign. Not ominous at all.
Can I hack the coffee machine?
That's what you're doing. I would say this would probably be an engineering roll. So whichever one of you wants to try.
So I do have
If I
hacker
might afford a
fix.
suggestion, it sounds more like a fix hack wreck to me.
Ah, well, there you go.
Yeah, I also have hack fix, but could I give Tempest help on this?
Yes, and if I literally looked at assist rules no moments ago, I believe it is just a +1. It's
Okay,
either
so
+1
since
or
I
an
have
accuracy.
+4 normally, I'll just do a 1d20 +5.
Yeah,
I think it is just a +1.
As they're just looking over the coffee machine, Saint's just like, are none of you upset? What about family? What about people who are expecting us?
Hey, you gotta have family to lose family.
For shits and giggles, it is +1 accuracy, so go ahead and roll me a d6, because you could crit on this.
You just get like a wedding cake out of this thing.
I know. We awaken from cryo sleep and immediately start hacking things into this cake.
Okay, so you stay at a 16. All right, yeah. You do get over a 10, which is all you need to succeed in this system. So, sure enough, the coffee machine is able to synthesize a small birthday cake with 6 slices. It is vanilla flavored.
I imagine it's not, like, great.
Oh, it's not the best cake you've ever had.
Just
but-
solidified
It's
coffee.
I
Oh,
think they
gross.
probably, like, shorted the coffee machine's flavoring matrix through the, like, standard issue protein cake.
Yeah, it's not the best cake in the world, but it's still a cake.
I'll take the win when I can get it.
Huh, not bad. Didn't think printers could really do food.
Hey, happy birthday, everyone. Or happy birthdays.
Yeah, happy birthday, one and all.
I should probably check in on my grandniece, see how it's been going.
You have a grandniece?
Yeah, it's been like 60 years real time.
Don't you think it would be a little strange seeing your grandniece again after just 2 years have passed suddenly?
Why? She's used to it.
Oh. Is this sort of thing common?
Yeah, if you're a regular. They
Yeah, if you do a lot of
recommend
space
that you
travel,
not
people
sign
expect
up if
this.
You have a direct family.
Oh. Hmm.
And it is at that point that the terminal next to the coffee machine illuminates, and you all see instructions that the High Water Squad is expected in the main briefing room as soon as possible for your mission briefing.
Don't even get a bathroom break.
Well, you can, shower or use the restroom, freshen up before then, but you are expected soon.
We'll leave the last slice of cake with a little note for Captain Harlock.
Alrighty.
That's Harlock with 2 A's, by the way.
Mm-hmm. It's the Harlock
No
from
relation.
40K, which we've totally stolen. All right, so we're going to cut to the briefing room as you guys walk in. Now, this briefing room is basically a large hollow emitter in the center of the room with a number of rows of chairs and terminals and places to sit in a circular pattern arrayed out from the hollow emitter. You see a older gentleman with an impressive amount of scars and other sort of weather patterns. He has a very strong chin, a very well-kept goatee, short black hair, and you see him currently talking to another group that looks, more or less the same as you guys, fresh hires or otherwise new members to the flotilla. But one of the aides that are in the room directs you to sit over there to the left and says, Commander Thomas will be with you shortly. If you have any questions for him, I would suggest thinking of them now. And the assistant leaves you for a moment, and you guys have probably about 2 or 3 minutes before Commander Thomas comes over.
Who's Commander Thomas?
Our commander.
You've never heard of Commander
presumably.
Thomas?
No.
Never? The great Commander Thomas?
You're...
I haven't either. Doesn't matter.
Ugh. Because we've only been introduced to Captain Harlock, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is he wearing a cape?
Thomas or Harlock?
Thomas.
Yes, he is wearing a cape.
Oh. He clearly still with the Crimson Flotilla?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess Saint really wouldn't know if there's any like rank insignia on him at all.
No, that would be something that you would have noticed so far. I mean, because obviously you had to traverse part of the ship and see some of the crew. There's not obvious rank insignia. Like for military, you've got like pips on a collar or some sort of insignia on the shoulders. Not a whole lot of that to go around.
Saint, wait,
Looks set up
wait,
more
patient.
like a corp than a military.
Well, you've been around a lot, haven't you, Unbreakable? Have you ever heard of the Crimson Flotilla before this?
I mean, I did my research before I joined, but I hadn't really heard of them before I saw the job post.
I guess the space is a very large place that many people can operate in without even meeting each other, I suppose.
Yeah, you meet all kinds of folk out here.
Saint
Whatever
looks
it
over
is,
at
they've got
Anomaly.
some serious man to burn because this is a big operation.
And it is right about then that Commander Thomas walks over with a cape flourish and he says, all right, excellent. I'm finally on my last squad. High Water, I believe, is what you're calling yourselves, yes?
That's
That
right.
is correct.
Excellent. Good. Then he does a head count. Good, you're all here. I guess introductions are in order. My name is Commander Thomas. I will be your liaison between yourselves, the contractor, and the Crimson Flotilla. Basically, if you need anything, whether it be a new mech, or if you need fire support, or you just need a ride back up to the ship, I'm the man you contact. But let's just go ahead and get into business because I'm sure you're as eager to start as I am. So he taps on a data pad that he has, and behind him on sort of that hollow imager is displayed a planet. And he says, this is the planet of Nidorix. And the Crimson Flotilla attaché, that is stationed aboard the Revolution Thunderbolt, yourselves included, are going to be in charge of security for the archaeological digs here. Long story short, several Union Science Bureau, USB far-field teams, for those of you who don't know, they're also called Rangers, they have found quite a number of interesting ruins that seemingly date back to -3KU, which, if you, again, aren't caught up on your history, might mean vaults similar to the Massif A vault. And if you really didn't pay attention to your history in school, that means that we're looking at treasures of data, artifacts, stores of information, all from old humanity. Have I lost anyone so far? And he pauses and looks at everyone.
Unbreakable raises a hand.
Yes, we have our first question. What is it?
It was my understanding that all of the massive vaults were located in the cradle system.
And you would be mostly right. However, they do believe almost wholeheartedly that one of the initial seed ships that was sent out long, long ago might have built something similar here.
And she just goes, and doesn't say anything further.
Anyone else?
You said that we're providing support?
Yes. Which actually leads into my next point. So, normally Rangers, again, mostly for those of you who don't know a whole lot about the USB, mostly Rangers operate on a security through obscurity mindset, which means basically the less people that know what's going on, the better. Which, again, normally would work because on a planet this far out from a gate, you don't really get a whole lot of traffic out here. However, they've had to already fend off attacks both from the planet and from orbit. The former, the planet-based, has mostly been the fauna of Nidorix, and they are all reptilian beasts of great power. Long story short there, from what I've been able to read so far, you do not want to tangle with these things alone. As far as the orbital attacks, we're looking at non-state actors, or a more common term, we're looking at your common Wolfpack pirates. The pirates have mostly done guerrilla raids on teams both on the surface and in orbit, and they usually either vanish or retreat or otherwise abscond before any captives have been able to be taken. So we don't really know their motives. We don't really know what they're after. We just know that they have been harassing the Ranger teams for quite a while. Now, to be fair to the Rangers, they've held their own so far, but it's really only a matter of time before they're overwhelmed. Indeed, in the time it's taken to sign the contract and our arrival here, it's been about 5 years. And my understanding is that the situation has grown decidedly more dire as the pirates have ramped up their activity by the day. Now, the good news is that the Revolution Thunderbolt and Captain Harlock and I will handle things in orbit, while you squads, you Highwater in particular, will be in charge of the ground detail. He pauses again and sees if there are any questions there.
I have a question, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
If we're dealing with pirates, when can we get started?
Well, as soon as this briefing is done.
I also have a question.
Go for it.
What is the overall objective here?
The overall objective is something that you will have to get specifically from your liaison to the Rangers. However, the contract is stipulated that the team, or teams, I should say, assigned to the planet are to hold out until we can get a Navy fleet out here. And if that doesn't tell you how important they think these vaults are, I don't think there's really anything else I can say.
Anomaly will raise his hand.
Yes, go ahead.
What's the ETA on the fleet? And one additional question.
Well, the ETA to the fleet is something we're keeping close to the chest because, no offense, you are new. We don't really know what the pirates are doing at the moment, so we're being very tight-lipped about that timetable.
Fair. Second question. Not really much of a question. I like your cape.
Oh, thank you. You get this after serving for 5 years real time.
Fancy.
Any other questions?
Unbreakable doesn't have a question, but she kind of just scowls at the mention of the cape.
Saint will pipe up again and say, there's already been attacks from the pirates, correct?
Correct, yes.
What sort of firepower have they brought?
That's one of the stranger things that I've been able to read so far. They have been able to field a abnormal amount of mechs and other sort of forces that we should have found, or the Rangers should have found their base of operations by now. They've either got a ship in orbit, similar to the Revolution Thunderbolt, or they've got a surface installation somewhere. There's no other way that they can support the amount of attacks that have occurred based on what I'm seeing.
And just this talk of pirates has got Tempest shifting from foot to foot, like he's anxious or restless.
Well, the good news is I only have one other thing to say. So, High Water Squad, you're going to be in charge of the southern dig site. And I'm going to briefly put us on this map so I can start showing you the planet. So this is Nidorix that you're seeing on the holo emitter. And you do see that there is a line between the dark side of the planet and the light side of the planet. And Commander Thomas says, as you can see, the planet is tidally locked, which means that one side of the planet always faces the twin suns of the system. The place you're going to is not on the sunny side. You're going to the dark side, and it zooms in on an area on the left side of the planet, and it is an icy tundra. And he says, this is the location that the Rangers have taken to calling the dungeon. I couldn't tell you why they're calling it the dungeon, but that's the name for it. You will be checking in with a Ranger that goes by the call sign of Shadow, and she will have further details on what needs doing in her encampment in particular. Now, it's worth saying that the Flashfire Squad is on the northern side of the planet, in the sunny side. They could, in a pinch, provide some support, but really, you're on your own here, besides any support you need from us in orbit. And honestly, that's all I have for the briefing. Do you have any questions for me?
Speaking of orbital support, what kind of fire support, drop support can we expect?
We can arrange for a brand new mech or any large printable item to be delivered to you within a 12-hour window. However, actual fire support will be limited as we do not have the best of weaponry available. That is to say that if you do mark a target, you probably don't want to be anywhere within probably about 500 meters of it.
Oh my god.
And I imagine that since this is a archaeological mission primarily, I'm guessing the eggheads would prefer us to keep orbital fire to a
minimum, yes.
Good catch.
Well, if there's no other questions, I have cleared you in Docking Bay 3. Your mechs, as you have provided them to the printer, have been printed and are waiting for you in the Hangar Bay.
Looks like
Alrighty, I think Unbreakable actually snaps him a quick salute before heading for the.
Yep, he snaps one as well, and he turns away to signify that it is okay to leave.
I'm not looking forward to going back to someplace cold.
It's better than being over in the sweltering heat like Flashfire, though.
I have to
more
second
used to the
that.
heat.
My mech does not do well in the heat.
Yeah, that kind of heat does awful things to mech systems.
Oh.
I think I much rather prefer the cold. You can run your mech as hot as you want.
Tidally locked is interesting. The closest I've been to being on a tidally locked planet was visiting a simulation of Rosh Shamra back in
Which side did you visit then?
It was a simulation of one of the Harrison Armory facilities, so it would have been on the belt between.
Oh, how'd you get into a simulation for HA?
They were doing a recruiting drive, trying to headhunt some people.
Anomaly kind of looks very suspiciously from side to side and slinks into his chair.
And Tempest is gonna kind of do that like face scrunched up, knowing like or like nodding, like impressed face that you can make at someone when they say something impressive.
I think they were looking to offload some more Shermans onto you.
All right. So we move to the hangar bay, and sure enough, waiting for you are your mechs. So this is an opportunity to make sure that the tokens are working correctly. So we're going to, as you guys introduce your mechs, basically change your tokens over to them. We're going to start with the left and work our way right. So Mothman, what waits for you in the hangar bay?
Real quick, how do I change the token again?
You right click
right click multi-sided.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. All right. So what's waiting for me is this. It's this four-legged mech with like a kind of like Martian red paint over it. But the really striking feature about it is that it has this really strange looking head ornament almost. There we go. So it almost kind of looks like a rabbit's head just chilling out on the front. And what that's basically is just kind of like a bundle of like radar equipment and sensors.
Neat.
Unbreakable nods at it. Huh, what pattern group is that?
We're looking at a swallowtail right here.
Not bad. Always useful.
Definitely.
Intel wins battles.
Mm-hmm. Up next is Tempest. Tempest, what waits for you?
When the doors open, sort of slide open, and we all walk into the hangar bay and see our mechs, Tempest lets out just this long whistle. The mech Tempest is piloting is called Full Force Forward. It's a Zang class mech from IPSN. It's a not a pretty mech to look at, because the Zang license, true to its origins as a sort of jury-rigged mech built on top of another chassis, generally just provides you with loose schematics for the design and expects you to fill in the rest. So Tempest Variation is built atop a sort of standard mining mech design. It's largely built for function and has not had much effort spent into making it look nice. It's pretty brutish and conveys a just simplistic sense of strength. The most notable part of the Zang is what looks like two very large back units, and these back units can unfold into a pair of like huge arms, easily like 2 to 3 times the thickness of normal mech's arms. And these arms are like clearly built to be weapons, because you can see just like various exposed pistons firing away, and reinforced gauntlets. And after they've just been turned on for a little while, they'll glow with a bit of heat haze due to having excess reactor heat just siphoned into them as a way to give them an extra bit of explosive oomph. The only real noticeable adornments on Full Force Forward are just the flame racing stripes running up the side of the second pair of arms. He realizes when he walks over his mech, he walks around it once, realizes he forgot to install a proper means of accessing the cockpit from the ground. So he just has to use a combination of like mag clamps and knowing where to actually like put his hands on the mech to scale up it. And once he's inside, he begins his boot up sequence. And after a moment, he has to bang on the control panels a few times after it gives us some errors to get it to keep going.
Alrighty. Up next, Saint, what waits for you?
What waits for Saint is, after having run through the previous simulation and being tossed around and rumbled in his pilot seat and being unable to protect Anomaly in his time of need, he has decided to go with the ISPN Drake, a very large size 2 mech built around just heavy armor and heavy machine gun fire, built like a brick shithouse. The interesting thing about it is about how very uninteresting it is. If you looked at a picture of a Drake in a catalog or something, that's exactly what you see. It's equipped with a heavy machine gun, along with a back-mounted mortar cannon, along with the very iconic heavy Argonaut shield, kind of like a riot shield. But on the riot shield is a various number of symbols on it.
Very nice. All right.
Over the Tempest like mech speakers, he's just gonna, hey, I think that big boy suits you, big man.
Saint kind of chuckles and says, thank you. I decided to go with the most armor that I possibly could. If anyone needs a safe haven, please just get behind me on the battlefield.
Ah, yes.
Unbreakable kind of like nods in approval.
The Grand Litany, front towards enemy. I love it.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of Unbreakable, what do you got going on?
So opposite the Drake, Saint's Drake, there's another object there, and I don't think it's quite immediately apparent that it is a mech, because from the head down, it's sort of draped in a large tarpaulin that has been fashioned into a makeshift cloak around it, trying to conceal what's underneath. And just the head, this ominous mono-eyed head sticks out above it. It's big too. It is about the same size as the Drake. It is a size 2 mech. And Scylla just wordlessly walks under that big tarpaulin, and after a few moments, the mono eye on top lights. Unbreakable, ready for action.
Saint pipes up and says, that thing is terrifying.
No idea what
No.
you're talking about.
Unbreakable. I think you have a fire breaking out? Wait, no, that's not really a fire, is it? The hell? The hell's that?
It's fine. Everything's fine.
I think I've seen this thing in my nightmares before.
Yeah, you're gonna have to let me take a look at that thing later, because I ain't seen a spec like that before.
I think it would be best if I performed maintenance on that.
Yeah, on second thought, I think you might be right.
And
she very conspicuously does not say what pattern group this mech is.
Mm-hmm. And again, last but not least, Anomaly. What do you have going on?
Always last. Ah, yes. So you see Anomaly starts to climb up, smirking up towards this large, or not quite large, but a foreboding kind of mech, draped from side to side in large amounts of cloth. Ooh. Uh-oh. I think my token wasn't updated.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. You see a strange-looking large mech covered in yellow pattern stripes all about it. Before it eagerly shifts, and a visual distortion breaks out through the ship as it starts to coalesce into a standing figure.
I figured out what's going on with your token. I will fix that as you guys roleplay.
Yeah, goes. Wait, this is my Everest. What's I thought I explicitly asked for a Sun Z. Let me just go. I'll be right back, guys. Ugh.
Yeah, that might not be your mech, dude. You might have just climbed into someone else's mech.
Ooh.
There's just someone down there like, excuse me.
Yeah, I think is there someone in there? Hello? Hello? I wave my hand in front of the cockpit as I rappel it up with my clamming wires. Hello? I knock on the glass eye. No, I can see my fuzzy dice in the window. So this is my mech, but why did it print? Peculiar. What's this? And then a strange overlapping of space and time as the ceiling begins to drip inwards on itself, folding around itself into an encapsulated shape, dripping with cloth. The middle of the mech is exposed to a large black hole in space, viewable from all sorts of angles and the same distortion. Right. Anomaly immediately gets sucked from his climbing wires into the center of the distortion, and oh God, what's happening? It's so dark in here.
I think Unbreakable would give him more shit if she wasn't currently riding the most terrifying mech in existence.
Hey, Anomaly Man, does that thing still got your fuzzy dice?
It actually does. Why did this carry over, but not the rest of the... whatever. We'll just explain this for the time being. Oh, gosh. All right, I think we're good to go. And you see a large mech with kind of insectoid-like feet, large cloth drapes, an exposed black reactor in the center, siphoning in what seems to be large amounts of air into its center. On its staff, you see a large, similar apparatus, and bulges of large technocancerous nodes seem to spoil over and spill into the surrounding areas. Large sensor units bristling with hard points and sensory antennae. All right, I think I'm good to go.
Why is it that strange things always seem to happen around you?
It's funny. I think I'm just a strange guy. Weird, I know. I don't. I think something's following me. Really.
Should we report this in our combat log?
Maybe.
I mean, they printed these mechs for us.
You're a priest, right? Maybe you could do an exorcism.
Saint just kind of coughs.
Something's haunting me.
I don't think I have the ability to save you from whatever it is that's happening from you.
If you exercise that mech, Anomaly might fall out.
And yeah, once you guys are all situated in your mechs and they're activated and you're in them, what happens is one of the drop ships, the back of it opens to allow you entrance. You're not seeing any personnel, though, inside. In fact, it's not until you all step inside and the door begins to close behind you that a NHP voice, female in origin, comes over the loudspeaker and says, "Hello, my name is Marcia, and I will be your pilot NHP for this drop mission. Please enjoy your flight."
I'm a Sheila.
Yeah.
So you guys feel the gravity shift subtly as the dropship launches out from the Revolution Thunderbolt, and you guys begin descending down to the planet. Now, because I'm an evil GM and I did it to the Monday group, so I got to do it to you guys too. Who has actually made planetfall before?
Nope.
Scylla definitely has.
Okay.
Tempest has, but not often.
Okay.
Definitely have not.
What I'm going to say is that Unbreakable, you will have an accuracy on this. Everyone else, you're just going to be rolling it straight. I need just a standard grit roll from everybody, and if you don't pass, you're getting a little bit sick. All right, so
Whoops.
Saint and Anomaly are fine.
Let's see, where can I roll?
Tempest is having some issues. Goldfish is Mothman. Mothman is doing all right.
Oof, that was a close one.
Scylla's surprisingly not doing so good.
Yeah, I expected not that. All right, so everyone who passed.
It's not that she's sick. I think she's kind of got a 1,000-yard stare going on.
Something like that.
This is what happens when you eat the protein
is
cake.
absolutely gonna pop open the hatch of his mech and hork down the front of it and just, this gets me every time.
I'm sure it'll get better with time.
What's going on, guys? I can't see anything. I think I'm upside down in the cockpit.
Have you turned it on yet?
Does it turn on? I think. There it goes, and you see the mech teleports halfway out of its restraints.
Oh my god!
Throwing itself 20 feet forward into the middle of the driving bay. I think. Oh, yeah, it's on. I think it's on now.
Just be careful.
I'll be
You
as
just hear
careful.
Scylla breathing hard over the radio.
I'll be as careful as can be. Trust me. Has anything gone wrong? Has anything gone wrong around me? Don't answer that.
Unbreakable? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just give me a sec.
We just have to remember what we learned in the simulation. Don't lock up.
Yeah.
And yeah, so violent descent. Well, not really violent, but very rapid descent into the atmosphere. You would notice that the external readings of your mech are steadily dropping in temperature. And this is where I need to go over what the mechanics mean while you're on this planet. So while you're on the dark side of the planet, you lose 1 heat per round. However, if you have no heat, as in you would go into the negative heat, your mech becomes first impaired, then slowed, then immobile. So you are actively encouraged to generate heat during your turn.
Is there a way that we can do that outside of like certain things? Can we like stabilize to like restore?
You can overcharge.
You can overcharge. I would say that because of this unique sort of mechanic, you could stabilize to generate heat if need be.
Okay.
But
because after a while, overcharge is going to get expensive.
Oh yeah.
I think I know a good way around this. Or maybe I need a lab and some materials. But a reverse heat sink, you will. A cold sink might be able to get around this. I can open up a
remember
reactor.
much of my thermodynamics class in union training, but I feel like that's improbable.
Don't worry. Don't. The possibilities, really? You're teleporting a living thing. I can teleport. Things are whack right now. If I open up the reactor shunts a little bit, I think maybe we can get around this somehow.
From the manual, that's ill-advised, I thought.
Everything we do is ill-advised. I think
That's true.
We'll drop the subject. I'll need a lab to get going and see what I can do.
Yeah, it's right about then that Marsha's voice comes over the loudspeaker and says, "Hello, High Water Squad. I have an incoming communication from your liaison, Shadow. Shall I patch it through?"
Yes, please.
By all means.
So, a decidedly human voice, a bit gruff, still feminine, but definitely a bit more gruff, says, "Ah, right, you're the new blood coming in, yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Well, I'd say welcome to hell and make a joke about hell freezing over, but I've been told that my humor sucks, so I'm not going to do that. But what I will tell you is that I'm waiting on the edge of the entrance to the dungeon. Please make sure that you remain in your mechs. We're in the middle of a blizzard at the moment. Hope you all packed your skivvies and your Under Armour because, yeah, this shit sucks."
Saint's going to turn his heat on his cockpit warmers onto full blast.
Do we know how cold? Like, can we tell how cold it is, temperature-wise?
You could ask her. Or do you mean just, in general, what is it for you guys right now?
Yeah, like what our mechs are saying.
Well,
Or can we ask Marsha what the temperature is on the planet?
yeah, right now it is a balmy negative 25 degrees Celsius with winds out of the west. Again, it's kind of snowing and icing at the moment, so humidity is probably about 80, 90%, if that matters to you.
Don't let your mechs lock up. Keep them moving, guys.
Side to side, jumping jacks. There we go.
I don't
Forced
think
march.
that'll be a problem for mine.
It's going against everything that I learned in the manual, but I'll try my best.
All right, well, unless you have any other questions for me, I'll see you in a few minutes. And yeah.
See you on the ground.
So the intercom shuts off, and there's a few more minutes of flying. So if you have any bits of RP you want to handle before you land, now is the time.
Everyone feeling good about their new mechs? Everything feel right? Need any last minute adjustments?
Certainly feels a lot more comfortable than the Everest for sure. The ride in wasn't as bumpy than getting blasted by missiles.
Good is not the word I'd use to describe it, but I think I am capable of handling whatever this planet throws at us.
Oh, this planet is not ready for us.
I like that optimism. Let's keep that going.
Confidence is good for morale.
Of course. And you see Anomaly is kind of like opening up some panels on the backside of the Hangar Bay with his mech to get like at a fuel siphon. And he's siphoning some fuel into what appears to be a kind of ramshackled weapon on his arms. As he begins to siphon off charges for his engineering weapon. Kind of
Hey, don't
they'll never know.
Don't we need that?
I'm only siphoning off the excess amounts of power. It'll be fine. I just need to get that extra oomph going.
Yeah, dude, what do you got going on there? Come on, share with us.
Oh, shit. Okay. Pass it back. And you see, you'll get it as I pass you guys like a large fuel cable. You know, handing you guys a cable with which to juice from, if you guys want. I think you guys would need some weapon outputs, though.
On the back of Unbreakable's kind of monstrous mech, there's just weapon-wise, he just has this huge fuck off sword, and also a standard GMS pattern assault rifle.
Classic. I like it.
I'm not exactly sure if my machine gun will take a fuel port.
I mean, you never know until you try, right?
I'm not exactly sure of the science behind how it works.
I hold up like some ammo, some shock charges from my armsman talent. And I go, I have to charge these. Kind of weird, right? Charging your ammo. First books, then vape pens. Now ammo? When will it end?
Do these things just work off static? Like, do you rub your hands on them a bunch or something?
Me?
Yeah, that ammo.
Oh, the
It's
ammo.
static ammo, right?
That's exactly correct. Some shocker thumps. See, it's kind of the thing. I'm constantly stealing supplies from everywhere I can get to fuel my obsession.
Hey, fight the man.
Exactly.
Even if we are the man.
Screw Lancers. Oh wait, we're Lancers. I mean, yeah, yes, Lancers.
I don't think we've fully gone over the consequences of betraying the flotilla, but Harlock seems to be the type of commander to have you, what do they call it, keel-hauled?
Ooh, yes. I very much like, what's the word? Not being dead, so I'll help you guys out a little bit.
Hey, that's why we left him cake. We've got, like, bonus points right now.
Yeah, he's completely correct.
We just cut back to a scene of Harlock just walking into the cryo chamber, seeing the cake, raising an eyebrow, and then just cape flourishing and turning away.
The notes just like dotted with hearts and stuff, like, no.
All right.
Dear.
Anomaly is going to seal up put the cable back if no one else wants some. Like, stick it in his neck's mouth. All right, put it back in the little hole, solder the wires back together, and close the panel. And you see the large forearm vambraces that he has on his mech begin to glow. And the space-time tellurion is fully charged.
Mothman, are your sensors going to be able to work in this blizzard?
I don't think the sensors are what's going to be my issue down here. I mean, it's not going to be an issue in terms of cold or anything, but in terms of like being a human being and being in, negative 25 degrees, that's probably going to be the biggest issue I have.
Yeah, do not climb out of your mech for a bathroom break. Trust me on this one.
You're in an SSC mech. Don't those things have like leather seats?
Yeah, it is pretty nice in here, but still not looking forward to when I have to like actually come out of it.
Probably heated seats too.
If I would have known what we were getting into, I would have opted for an expanded compartment if anyone needs to bail out in this.
That would have been a good idea. It's going to be really troublesome, I do believe. See, I'm a doctor. You should trust me on this. If we have to get out in our mechs, we have 3 rounds before we're stuck there getting frostbite. Because as pilots, our hard suit don't generate enough heat to keep us safe.
I think freezing to death would be quite a nasty way to go.
They say it's pretty bad. I've yet to experience it. Don't want to find out firsthand, though.
I'm sure if we just stick together, we'll watch each other's backs.
Yep.
It is right about then that the dropship comes to a horizontal stop and begins lowering itself. The back opens up, and you are able to disembark onto this map. And I'll zoom out for the stream here in a moment. But basically what you find yourselves looking at is a large mountain range that has a cave in the sort of wall of the mountain, if you want to imagine it that way. There is an actual stone path that leads from the landing point to the cave entrance. And waiting for you is a half-size mech. Doesn't look, it is size 1.5. It is a spiky sort of form-fitting sort of mech. Doesn't match any pattern that you're aware of, but as you all disembark, the mech holds up a hand and you hear Shadow's voice over comms and says, good, you've made it. Welcome to hell. Oh, right, I said I wasn't going to make that joke. Well, too bad, I did it anyway.
Well, come hell or high water.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so what do we got here? So she steps forward and begins sort of inspecting you guys, and you guys can fan out where you would like to be on this map. But she starts walking among you, looking you guys up and down, and says, I like these two. And she points at Saint and Unbreakable. Nice and beefy.
Thank you.
I don't know what's going on with you, though. Points at Mothman. And I don't know what's going on with you either, pointing at Anomaly.
Teleportation!
Sometimes we have found it is best not to ask.
He's reliable, though.
Yeah, reliable is what we need around here. And it's about then that from the entrance of the cave to the north, you hear what sounds like a klaxon, an alarm. And Shadows, the head of her mech, turns and looks and says, hell, I was hoping they wouldn't be here. You need to brace for combat if this is what I think it is. And it's right about then, as she, is mid-sentence, that a sword, seemingly out of the surrounding snow and ice and wind that is swirling around you, a mech appears from out of almost nothingness, swings a sword at her, missing her by mere inches as she dodges out of the way. And she shouts, They have holo technology. Just be on your guard. And that's where we're going to enter combat.
I'm all for warm welcomes. Oh, wait.
All right, and I need to add everyone that's on the GM layer.
Saint shouts over comms holo technology. What does that mean?
Well, it is the player's turn to go first. So whichever one of you would prefer to go first.
If nobody minds, I could probably use it because I am slow as hell and I don't have much train.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing I got to tell you. So these squares are designed for half sizes. That's why you guys are so big. So make sure that you count properly.
So we have to double everything?
Yeah, basically.
The feet is correct. So just remember that each we can move. Each movement point is 10.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, if you have a speed of 3, you can go up to 30.
Got
so
it.
I can make it about here-ish on one movement.
That works out.
Any terrain funness we need to talk about, like cover or difficult terrain?
Yeah, it's a good time to point things out. So over here to the right, there do appear to be ruins, some stone ruins, either of a past encampment or of an ancient civilization. It's really hard to tell. It's half buried in ice, and I would say that the walls and columns over here will provide soft cover based on the angle. Over here to the west, the snow is a little bit deeper. So if you start to stray too far to the west, your mech will become in difficult terrain. As long as you are on the stone path, you have normal movement. And if you, for whatever reason, decide to go into the cave, that is effectively leaving the battle. So just know that if you do choose to retreat, the cave is the place to go. But for the moment, that's really all you have going on terrain-wise.
Is the cave like in the side of a mountain?
Yes.
You see it up in the middle there.
Okay.
Yeah, let me shift ping. Can I shift ping as a... No, I got to do it on the GM screen. This is the cave. Right here. Actually, you know what? I have a fancy tool for this. Hold on. This is the cave.
Okay. And that mountain goes way high up?
Yeah, like the mountain goes almost, you crane your head back and you can't see the top, but yeah, it goes up pretty far.
Okay.
But yeah, so which one of you would like to go?
I could probably use it.
Go for it.
I wouldn't mind it. Smash him to bits, as they
These
say.
combat OSTs going on.
All right. Scylla's just gonna her mech just starts moving, and it's this thud, thud, thud as she just stomps her way into combat. And it's weird. It looks like she's kicking up more snow than she should be. And it's just kind of swirling around her mech and not really dissipating. So yes, as her first quick action, Scylla is going to activate. Let me see. How do I want to do this? What is the best way? Because I've got more options than I used to. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and activate Scylla's Swarm Bomb. If your mech doesn't move before the end of this turn, at the end of your turn, you project a burst one area around your mech. Characters of your choice that move into this area for the first time on their turns or start their turn must pass a system save or take 3 kinetic.
Okay.
This increases by 3 every time, every turn that passes that Scylla doesn't move, up to a maximum of 9.
And just so that I know, it's all characters, enemy characters?
Characters of my choice.
Characters of your choice. Okay.
Ooh.
No friendly fire.
Because the horrible swarm of nanomachine.
No blue on blue. I like that.
That's highly convenient. All right, so that's your quick action. That's your move action. You've got one more quick.
Can we get a burst that's, can we get a burst for Unbreakable to see how far the range in that is?
Yeah.
I could probably set that up.
Let's put that in a green. There you go.
Ooh. Fancy.
How big is the size?
Size 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
so size 1 would be 10 feet.
Yeah.
Big death.
And then Scylla unsheathes the huge sword on her back and just takes a brutal swing at this pirate.
All right, so as you start to swing, you do realize that the Spectre is already shifting back into invisibility. So before you even make the attack roll, I need you to flip me a coin. So roll me a 1d2, and on a 2, your attack will hit. On a 1, it slips away before you can hit it. All right, so your sword comes down, and the Spectre just, you judged where you thought it was, and it ends up being almost completely invisible as it sort of dances out of the way.
Alrighty.
And
Scylla just nods. Okay. That's how you want to play it? She flips and switches on her cockpit, and there's a bit of a glow in this garment as she overcharges.
Okay.
And she is going to deploy her swarm drone.
Okay. I guess it might help if I move the overlay back so that people could see what was going on. That might help.
Excuse me, the hive drone. You can fire this drone to an empty space in sensor range as a quick action.
Mm-hmm.
While it is active, it emits a burst to area around it that grants soft cover to any allied mech, at least partially. It benefits from its own cover. In addition, any hostile target that starts its turn in the area or enters it for the first time on their turn takes 1 AP kinetic.
Okay. So you are making, what is this on this map? So you would do a 10 by 10 square on this map.
Size 2, not size...
Right, but so normally it would be burst 2 would be 2 squares, so a 5 by 5. But because this is a 5 feet grid, it's basically it's 10 by 10.
So a big area.
Yeah, big area. So let me actually draw a thing here.
Big.
All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so there's the square. Where do you want to put this square?
Actually, I think it might be better to actually deploy it, because it is a unit. So, if you, I don't know if you've got a token you want for that.
Yeah, I can quickly.
Because it might just be easier to do it as a unit, use it with a token and an aura.
Sure. Just use I do have a little caretaker drone. All right, we'll use him. All right, so he is out to 50 feet. Actually, that's 25. No. Yes, 25. Aura. Save. Oh, I gotta set it so that you guys can see it. That might help. We'll put his aura as light blue. And you guys should see it now.
Nice.
So where do you
Alrighty,
want
you
it?
can actually get control of that?
Yeah, I can give you control of that. Controlled by...
So I can just start one?
Yeah, nope, that's Dr. Z. Controlled by... Where are you in the list? I'm just going to give control to all players, because for some reason you're not in the list.
But yeah, I can control it now. It's going to be...
And this should be a
right
square.
there.
Okay.
Yep. Nice.
Very nice. Anything else?
And that is going to be silly.
Excellent. Well then, to sort of highlight what's going on here, Mothman, I need you to, well, you don't do anything. It's I'm the rolling. But again, seemingly as if out of the snow and wind and ice itself, a monowire sword comes flying at your mech. So I need to roll an attack here. My attack is +2. So, no accuracy, no difficulty, +2. I don't think you have a 6 evasion. I think you've got a much higher evasion.
Yeah, I have 10 for
Then,
that, so...
You are easily able to dodge out of the way of this monowire sword as it flies at you.
Saint pops up over radio like, "Oh God, where did this one come from?"
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that is the enemy's turn. It is now the player's turn again.
Can Tempest go? He's fired up. He's ready to go.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
He's just gonna, overcome like, hey, I've never been paid to get into a fight before. I am pumped. So he's gonna activate his passive, which lets him move 3 spaces.
Okay. So up to 30.
Yeah, just gonna slide up just a little bit, and then deal 1d3 kinetic to this dude.
Okay.
Now, do I need to roll for... I assume I have to roll for this.
Yeah, it's unless it says it automatically does it. Yeah, it's just a standard attack roll versus their evasion.
I mean, it's not an attack. It just says I do 1d3.
What are you doing?
Then if it just says do 1d3, then you just do 1d3.
What are you doing?
I am
the
activating
Zang
my
passive.
Zang passive, yeah.
Yeah, it's just flat. You just do it.
Right. Actually, I have to BRB for about 5 minutes, so why don't we take our 5 to 10 minute break here and you guys can talk strategy. But I will leave the stream up so the stream can hear you, but I will be right back.
Sounds good.
Fun.
Good strategy. Use in the bathroom. I'll be back.
Alrighty, this pirate up here is going to have a bad time on the start of his...
Yeah, this dude is probably getting obliterated.
Yeah.
Because he's going to take 6 damage from me when his turn starts.
And if I hit him, he's taking a bunch.
Yeah. So while he's away, I kind of have a small strat that you guys might like. I'm probably going to use my mines this turn, and then depends on how many enemies show up.
Ooh, mines are a
That's
good
not
choice.
Yes, I'm going to use a bunch of limited charges in order to do some fancy things. So, where would you guys like to be moved if you guys are going to be moved? This will probably take a good amount of time once we do it, so I might as well strategize now. Where do you guys need to be?
I guess
Whoever's ranged could probably
yeah.
do with being in those ruins.
Yeah,
Probably true.
I think
Assuming
I'm not going to move you Unbreakable because then it's going to break your swarm body.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, depending on what needs to happen.
Yeah, if I start it right here, then I can affect a big chunk of space, and you guys can move anywhere within 40 feet of this point if I decide to use it.
So there's a couple things I gotta kind of like figure out here.
You can also move You can also move to me as well.
Yeah,
As as a free point in space, no matter what I do.
How do you think lock-on works when enemies are invisible?
So you have to roll. I think you probably still have to roll the 1d2.
That is true. Let me see. It's technically not an attack, and invisibility just makes you miss attacks, right?
Yeah, because lock-on is guaranteed now, so...
Yeah, it's technically not classified as attack. It's just a quick tech option.
Oh, Jesus, that's great.
Yeah. So I don't think your lock-ons can miss, but the attacks can still miss against the invisible targets, I think.
Right.
And they're just invisible, which means that we can't scan them and make them visible again, because they're not hidden. They're just invisible. So all attacks have a 50-50 shot of missing. If you have that, what's that drone you have with the, it's called a scout drone, I think that's Swallowtail.
Yeah, I have that.
Ooh, I think that's great, because hostile characters cannot benefit.
That prevents invisibility, I think.
Cannot benefit from invisibility.
That would be a good thing.
Jesus, that's right. Oh, man.
That's fantastic, and it makes a burst 2 zone. So we'll just duplicate this one, and the Spectre get Rector. I love it.
Seems like we have a strategy.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, so where should I be throwing this thing then?
It might depend. Do we want to move into the ruins first before we throw down all our stuff?
I don't think so, because there's a bunch of melee mechs, these Spectres, right? So I doubt it matters. What we really need is to keep our squishies safe. I'm kind of advocating for my own strategy, but I only have 8 HP, so if they get on me, they can one-structure me.
Yeah, I only have 9, so...
So I'm going to stick in Unbreakable's body, which is going to limit a little bit of what I can do. But I want to be next to Saint, so you guys can just get, anyone comes to screw with me, you guys can get them.
I was going to suggest trying to move forward towards the ruins, because then they can only attack us from one direction.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they can scale the mountain.
Or they're already there.
I can move us all
true.
I can move everyone to the ruin if we want.
What do you mean everyone?
Everyone. I can move all friendly units to the ruins if I so wish.
What does that mean? Everyone.
Everyone. That's not
at
even
once?
At once. Yes.
Thing.
Yeah, it's kind of it's like my thing.
What is this thing capable of?
Just movement. And I can't really attack people, but I can move you guys. And because you guys are attackers, it all works.
What in the hell?
So
Oh,
if
can you move enemies? Because
I can, yes, but I can't do a special thing. So the Sunzi has 2 passives. The first one allows me to teleport once per turn. Teleport once per turn 2 spaces as a free action. So my move speed is effectively 6. But if I move boost, that makes it 12, which means I can move like it's like 4 spaces. The spaces on here are kind of screwing me up. That's like 6 spaces is like right here. I can move here, throw a warp grid at you guys, and you guys can make use of my second passive, which means that any teleported unit that's friendly can teleport to me no matter what. There's just a free space. You guys can count those spaces as good. So I can like surround myself with you guys in these ruins if we wish. I don't think it's very effective though, because it's just soft cover. These specters are going to come at us anyway.
So we lure them in by having them attack you, and then we all just teleport on top of them. You're the ultimate bait.
I mean, I don't want to say I am, but yeah, I am. It's scary though, because oh boy.
Yeah, there's no dodge action in this one. Just brace.
Okay, sorry about that. When your grandmother calls, you answer the phone.
Oh,
True.
of course.
So yeah.
Not even a question.
All right. So is this 1d3 that the Spectre is taking?
Yeah, he's taking the 1.
Okay. All right. So that's your movement, your special passive. What else you got going on?
I'm just going to swing at him, so I'll roll for invisibility.
Mm-hmm. And again, you need to see a 2 to hit him. You do hit him.
Oh, this dude's taking some damage then.
Jeez, we have a 50-50 each time.
Mm-hmm.
It's every attack, yeah.
Oh, yikes.
Which essentially...
A 17 does hit. Make sure you do take the heat.
ooh, that's actually really convenient for this situation.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, when it comes to heat, is that cooling?
It's at the end of every round, not every turn, end of every round.
Oh, it's all at round. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So so he's going to take a bonus 2 damage. So he's going to take 7 total damage.
Okay.
And if there's any dudes hiding in a cone behind him, they're also going to get
Ooh.
blasted.
Let's see. Cone 3.
Unfortunately, I don't think the reactor shielding actually affects the target you hit. Just the people behind him.
So this is not reactor shielding. This is
It's
the
the
mod for my weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it affects the
I
target.
didn't copy the whole thing. I'm pretty sure it does. Give me a second.
I mean, because it is worth, because that is a difference of 2 damage, which could matter.
Yeah, I'm
no,
pretty sure.
You are correct. I think they updated it. All right.
Yeah,
you're
I
right.
just didn't copy the whole thing in there for brevity's sake.
Yeah.
All right, so he takes 7 damage as you swing at this thing. What are you swinging with exactly? Is this your
So
fist?
this is my heavy melee, just my big old beefy robot hand just comes just pummel just right in the face, and once it connects, it just basically lets off like a fiery blast that shoots forward.
Mm-hmm. And I will say that it does carve furrows into the snow and ice that goes behind him, but it doesn't seem that you've caught anyone in the blast.
And if this dude's still standing, I'm just going to swing at him again.
Yep, he is indeed still standing. And
I
unfortunately,
will miss this time, though.
Yeah, he just, again, you try to calculate where he is, and then thanks to his invisibility and the weather conditions, he's able to completely dodge out of the way of your punch.
So since I hit him, I get to, at the end of my turn, I can create a piece of terrain.
Okay.
Ooh.
It's just gonna become a big cluster around here.
We'll see that square is just a big chunk of rock ripped up from the stone walkway we're standing on.
I like it.
Like an earthbender.
And that is your turn. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. So I have to check ranges on this. Let's see. So that is a range of 15.
That's not good.
So that means 150 feet. Yes, that will work. All right. So near the mouth of the cave to the north, and I'll zoom out so the stream can see it in a moment. Again, seemingly as if out of the thin air, a different kind of mech, not the nimble, invisible kind of sort of specters that are assaulting you, but something completely different. It hovers just slightly in the air as it casts out its hands towards... Let's do towards Saint. So, Saint, what is your E defense?
E defense is 6.
E defense is a 6. All right. Well, I need to add 2 to whatever this is. A 19 will hit. So, I need you, Saint, to tell me what your weapons are.
He's got a fist-mounted shotgun vambrace on the one hand, back-mounted mortar cannon, and also the heavy machine gun in the opposite hand of the shotgun.
What would you say does the most damage?
Well, the heavy machine gun for sure at 2d6 plus 4. It's inaccurate, however.
Okay. I would like you to use the mortar on yourself, Mothman, and Anomaly.
All right, so it's a blast 1, so that means it has to get rolled for each person.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. The first one will be
You get
from
heavy
me.
cover since they're adjacent to.
Yeah. So
So-
we'll get heavy cover. Thank
So-
God.
So if they have heavy cover, does that
That's
mean
too
that...
difficult.
Too difficult.
Yeah.
So it stacks it up to 3 for them.
Because motor has inaccurate. But remember, you only take the best of your roll for difficulty. So
Yeah, it should automatically do it if
Okay.
you go through the difficulty thing in the.
Okay. So the first one will be for me.
okay.
Yeah.
So inaccurate. So that's one.
So that
So
will
that'll-
hit you, I believe.
Yep. The Drake has blast plating though, so the Drake has resistance to damage, heat, and burn from blast, line, and cone attacks.
All right, so you would only take 3 explosive, which I think after your armor means nothing.
Yep,
I think
that's true.
armor's first.
Oh,
Either way, 3 off for armor, and then
Yeah.
let's check.
yeah.
He would still
Yeah.
take the 1, I think. Yes.
Yeah, so I think it would be because you have what 3 armor. Right.
Mhm.
Correct.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you take 2 damage because it would round down to 1.5 or 1.5, which rounds up to 2.
This is why we are checking. A mech's armor reduces all incoming sources of damage by that amount. Does not say when you apply it, which means it's got to be further on.
Might be in the resistances.
Right,
Yes.
that's what I'm thinking.
There's definitely a little chart somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find, because I know exactly the chart you're talking about.
Consult the chart.
Let's see. Here we
Ooh,
go.
damage. Here it goes. Damage. It's on page 102 if you have the PDF.
Yep, I got it. All right, here we go. Reductions from armor is first, then reductions from system talents reactions. So, yes, so it would reduce by 3 to 3, then you would half that, and it would round up. So that would be, yes, 2 damage.
Okay.
And the other thing I noticed is that it's not rolling your difficulty. So top
What
right
the
of your
heck?
character page, you should see accuracy, difficulty, etc. Make sure
Yeah.
you have difficulty selected and a 3 in that window.
Well, it was only 1 for me because the mortar is inaccurate, but I do have that set. That's strange.
Yeah, because it did not roll any dice. Well, it rolled your
No.
d20, but it didn't roll your difficulty.
Difficulty.
And the +1 for grid, so it took that into account at
Right.
least. Okay.
Did you make sure to set your difficulty up at the top right of the...
Yeah, I have 3 in it right now with difficulty selected.
All right, well, roll and we'll see. And then we'll say this is for Mothman. Let's see
Okay.
if it rolls right. Yes, it rolled properly
Yeah.
that time. All right.
What the heck? Okay, well,
So Mothman, you're fine, and then I need something for Anomaly. I think that hits Anomaly.
But it's only 2 damage, so.
It could be worse. It could be a lot worse. Still gonna chunk me though.
So I guess what happens is that Saint's Drake has a sudden misfire in the mortar tube, and it expels around everyone.
Yeah, something like that. You would see.
Like,
Saint
it just
would
drops
see,
at its feet.
Yeah, I would say so. Saint, you see that your mech has more or less been taken over momentarily, and that the weapon systems have been activated, and your mortar round launches up in the air and comes straight back down, affecting the three of you. The good news is that this is only a temporary hack. Your mech is able to regain control very quickly, but this is something you probably don't want to get hit by again.
Saint's like, what the heck was that?
Hey, Saint, my man, calm down. Calm down.
That wasn't me. Something took over my controls.
Oh shit! Maybe you need an exorcism.
This isn't a time for jokes.
It's always a time for jokes.
And it is at this time that the players can go again. So whichever one of you, Mothman, Saint, Shadow, or yeah, that's right, Shadow can go too. Just let me know when Shadow should go. So Anomaly, Mothman, Shadow, or Saint can go.
All right, I think I have a plan here.
Yeah.
Yep.
First off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make a full tech on that pirate witch.
Okay. And what are you doing with the full tech?
Marker light.
Marker light. Okay.
Is she in your tech in your sensor range?
My sensor range is 20
he
on this map, which is
can see
pretty much everywhere.
The map.
Yeah, she's 13 away.
Mm-hmm. Your number to beat here
All right, let me
is
get
a 13.
Oh, yikes. No.
Yeah, unfortunately, you
Oof.
try and hack this thing, but apparently it is designed to be resistant to it, and it just shrugs it off like it's nothing.
All right. Well, at the very least, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to overcharge.
Mm-hmm.
And then for a quick, I'm going to deploy the Scout Drone Nexus.
Okay.
Now, is the pirate right next to me? Is he invisible right now, or
All specters are permanently invisible.
permanently invisible? Okay. Well, I'm going to put the Scout Drone right about here.
Here, I'll make another copy. There you go.
It has
And as a
a
reminder, the scout drone's wording is hostiles characters cannot benefit from invisibility.
Yes. So they can have it, but they can't benefit.
Right.
right.
Yep.
They're invisible, but they basically have an outline now.
You
Right.
can have your cake, but you can't eat it.
Ooh.
Because
When it
we
can-
already ate it.
And then I'm going to end my turn, but
Ooh.
because I'm ending my turn, since I didn't move, I become invisible.
Okay.
That's the integrated cloak trait. Then on top of that, since I have a spotter and I tried to take a tech attack or do a tech action,
Mm-hmm.
I can make a single lock-on action as a free action.
Okay.
And when I do, I can learn the target's current HP, armor, speed, haste skills, evasion, and E-defense.
Basically, I'll tell you what you want to know.
Right. So I'm going to put that on the witch.
On the witch. All right, let me
Yeah, I think we should probably focus that thing
give me
down.
an
real
Yes,
icon.
please.
Let's see. There we go. Target. So the witch, pretty much your standard witch. It's got an HP of 12. It's got an evade of 10. It's got an E defense of 13. It can store up to 8 heat, Its speed is 6, its sensor range is 15, its save is 12, and it is a size 1.
And no armor on it?
No armor.
Alright. I think that wraps up my turn.
Alrighty. Well, on the subject of things getting even worse, you notice, well, those of you that can see that far, notice that from the swirling winds, another witch appears.
Oh, God.
And
You duplicated them,
time,
man.
This time, I need Unbreakable. I need to know what your E defense is.
My E defense is 10.
Your E defense is a 10. Very good. What is your total heat?
At current, I am at 1, and my maximum is
Is what, sorry?
4.
Is 4. Well, then it is going to do, what is this? This is +2, so this is with 1 accuracy. And +2 to this. Oh dear.
Oh, yikes.
That is a crit. So as we learned yesterday...
Where's it getting that accuracy from?
It's part of its attack, is it gets accuracy. Because it's not doing predatory logic, it's doing tear down, which is +2 versus E defense per tier with 1 accuracy. So what it means is you're not going to take crit damage, because if it doesn't do damage, you don't take crit damage. However, you are going to immediately take 1 heat, and the next time that witch goes, you take an additional 4 heat.
That's fine.
Ooh.
So just remember that. I'm going to mark you with a little flame. Actually, I'm going to
That's
mark
actually
you,
excellent. Thank you.
I'm going to mark you with a red. So the next time that red goes, we'll remember.
I couldn't be more happy.
So yeah, your mech begins to heat up as if the processors have been overcharged and are more or less overclocking at the moment. So that's its first quick tech. Its next quick tech is going to be versus Saint. So Saint, I need to know what your E defense. You said it was a 6, yeah?
Yep. The Drake is not very sophisticated.
So this is going to be just a straight roll. +2, so 7. So 7 is 1 more than it needs.
Yep.
I need you to make a new mortar attack against all 4 people here.
Oh my god. This is terrible. Saint's freaking out. The first will be against... Is the Spectre included in this?
The Spectre is included in this.
Oh, that's strange. Okay. First on the Spectre.
Okay.
And
That'll hit it and kill it.
Still not rolling difficulty on this. Is it not like the 1?
Maybe you need a plus in front of it?
Yeah, you need to make sure it's set to a 1.
Yeah, it's set to a 1. Here's what I'll do.
Well, remember, we also have a macro that does it, but yeah, you still hit it. Like, don't
Okay.
worry about it. You still hit it.
Which one is he shooting at?
So he killed the 1 Spectre, and then he needs to roll for Shadow.
Oh, these things are not very bulky, are they?
No, they're not. So Shadow, then Tempest,
So he-
then Unbreakable.
Oh, he
I
was
should shot the other
invincible,
one
though,
because that guy was going to die anyway.
I'm going to say that based on everything that's around him, you hit him.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna use the macro for some reason. It's being real weird. Okay, so this one will be against Shadow.
I believe that does hit Shadow. Yes, it hits Shadow.
Okay. Then
Against
I'll,
Tempest, you'll have an extra difficulty.
I'll roll the mortar for the damage.
All right, so...
See, that time it rolled it!
It just doesn't like us, clearly.
Oh my god. The
Mortar
witches
is
have-
haunted.
Everything's haunted! Alright, this one will be against Unbreakable.
That actually amazingly does not hit.
And then
That's
I think
probably
we
for
just
this.
need to see...
Nice.
So Tempest was the -1, so yeah.
So
Baylor has an evasion of 6.
is that 1 difficulty, Tempest?
So it should be 2 total if you're firing your mortar.
Yep.
Let's try it.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, I'm
we're both
thinking
on.
that I'm thinking that it doesn't like me typing in the number 2, but using the little tickers next to it, it likes.
Yeah, that's classic Roll20 for you.
Okay.
But yeah, the good news is that after your mech is once again hacked, it returns to your control, and it is again the player's turn. So Anomaly, Saint, or Shadow, you may go.
Saint's gonna go because Saint is getting pissed that he's committing fratricide. he's like, damn it! He is going to take his first quick action as a attack against the remaining Spectre.
Okay.
With the heavy machine gun.
Okay.
So this is at 1 difficulty because it is inaccurate and fire.
Let's see. Yeah, 13 will hit it for 10 kinetic. Yeah, you vaporize this thing. Like you open up with your machine gun and just eviscerate it. So it is down.
Saint's Drake turns to the witch over here, and its little red eye port just beams with hatred, and he's going to begin moving.
Okay.
He's gonna go, and he has a speed of 3, so that means 30 feet on this one, right?
Mm-hmm. And yep, you figured it out.
Yep. Are you within my range? For this one, a range of 8 means 80 feet, correct?
Yep.
All right. Then Saint is going to overcharge for an extra action, accruing 1 heat. So he's going to keep moving because he's got an agenda now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Saint is pissed. He's going to keep moving up further.
Okay.
We're now within my range.
And since he is partially covered by my swarm drone, he does get that extra cover.
Mm-hmm.
And then Saint is going to use his last remaining quick action as another skirmish with the heavy machine gun.
Okay.
As he's going to say, go to hell.
And yeah, with a 10, you nearly kill this thing completely, but it's still like it's jittery, it's starting to lock up, but you think maybe if you were to throw just one more bullet at it, just one more bullet.
So close.
So close.
All right.
Oh,
It's still got the
hold
lock on it. So.
It does have lock on. Do you want to consume the lock on?
Would that give me bonus damage?
It would just negate your inaccuracy.
Yeah, so
Well, I
if
already
you had
hit.
another attack, it'd be good, but
No,
since you already
I'm-
hit it, there's
The reason
I'm
I
out.
say that is, oh no, because even you rolled a 16. Like I was gonna say, if you
Okay.
had another accuracy, you could have maybe gotten a critical hit, but no.
Well, if I do crit, that activates brutal,
Right, but you.
but I feel like
You
it would be a
need
waste.
more than just the lock on to
Oh, okay.
crit.
Then yeah, that's fine.
Okay, yeah. So you don't consume the lock on, so the lock on is still there.
I'm
All
happy with the results.
Yes. All right. So on the next turn of the pirates, you actually may have made a mistake because you look behind you or start to sense, hey, Anomaly, how you doing there, buddy?
Oh boy, I love murder.
Oh no, I left my friends.
You kind of left your friends there.
Haha, I'm in danger.
All right, so
There was no right answer.
that's gonna be a 14 versus your evade.
Ha, kill me.
All right, you're gonna take 5 kinetic damage, but because there's no other characters adjacent to the target, which is you take an additional 5 damage for a total of 10.
Oh wow, that super structures me. I think.
Saint has made a mistake.
Oh shit, what's my H? I think my token got screwed up.
Yeah, I was gonna say the token is it's not pulling from your frame HP properly.
Yeah, it's not the setup whatsoever. But I've been tracking it on myself. So I had 8 before, and then I had 7 out of 7, and I'm taking 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means I'm taking 9. So I structure, and I'm left at 6.
All right, go ahead and roll that structure macro. See what happens.
See, I have this on my macro bar now. So I'm going to be rolling it so often.
And you
Thank
are
God.
impaired until the end of your next turn.
Once Saint realizes what happened, he's like, "Damn it! This is just like the training all over again."
And because I'm a dick, it does still have one quick action. So its quick action is it's going to move its speed and disappear back into the darkness, completely ignoring engagement.
Oh God! I just got drive-by'd. Oh shit! You see my mech coughs up like warp fluid.
And yeah, it's now the player's turn. So Anomaly or Shadow can go. So whichever one would you prefer?
I think that me and Mothman are going to have to stick together if we don't want to get picked off by the Spectre.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't want to keep shooting mortars at my friends, though.
I don't think we have much of a choice, but let me think about what I can do. It's who's it? Who's the option? It's me or Shadow?
Yep, you or Shadow.
Ooh. I doubt there's another Spectre there to just structure me again, right, guys?
Totally
I mean,
fine.
I think you've got more that you can do.
Yeah, I think I can do a lot of stuff. I think what we need right now is to shamble forward at an accelerated rate, yeah?
I
Then
love
what you gotta do?
shambling.
That little
Yes.
corner between Saint and the cover that the Zang created looks real.
Alright.
Just stay by me. I'll only launch mortars at you.
Alright, I'm going to use my quick action to teleport forward. Or no, use a free action to teleport forward 2 spaces as the Sun Z gets that free teleport once per turn. Then, in my sensor range, I'm going to throw down a distortion field, a large vacuum of space and time that seems to scrunch up reality into a small ball and throw out projectiles much faster than they came in with. And I'll throw that within my sensor range. And it's a blast 2 area that's free.
Okay.
So I'll throw that.
Do I need to make another drone?
I can use a big square.
Yep. We'll just make another drone.
Big square.
Big square.
Hey, does your Sunzi make a neat noise when it teleports?
Oh, of course. It's like whoom, or swoop. Yeah. That's
Oh,
how
Swoop is pretty good.
Shroop is good.
Although I also kind of like the imagery of like every so often there's a thing of snow blowing by, and when that happens, he's just in a different place.
Yeah. The wind shifts, and then suddenly,
Yep. So this distortion field, if you target it with any attacks, it allows you to remake that attack from any point within that field. Or if you enter it, you can be teleported to any space not in that field.
So is that like a defensive field for us, kind of?
Yeah, so you can shoot into it. It's like a portal, and then you can shoot out within 10 feet. So it's like a range extender, and it allows you to retarget your attack around cover. But it's about to do something really, really fancy. With my second quick action, I draw my card, and I'm going to throw out a blink grenade.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I can choose a blast 4 area within range 10 and line of sight. And I can move all characters within that area to any other point within that area as well. Yeah, and I'm going to choose right here. So it's a thrown 10, blast 4, which means it stretches out, from its point of impact, like 40 feet in all directions.
I think that's going to hit everybody.
Yes, it will hit everybody. Welcome to the room shuffles, guys! All right.
Let's all get close for more mortars.
Yep. And so everyone within this range, 40 feet, you guys can go ahead and choose where you want to be placed. Or you can be thrown into the, what do you call it? You can sit behind this barrier. If you move into it, it only allows, what do you call it? Range attacks through. It doesn't allow tech attacks, and it blocks line of sight.
Wait, it blocks tech attacks?
It does block tech attacks.
Get me in there.
But you can't sit in it. If you move into it, you teleport to any other spot on the field. So if you move here, you zoop to this side or this side, wherever you want. Really,
Oh, so that space just basically does not exist right now.
it doesn't exist anymore, and it allows you to boost your range attacks by 10 squares.
Is your mech just the hand?
It is. It's the Hando.
Oh my god.
It's great.
Okay.
All right.
Do the witches have invisibility?
They have invisibility during their turn.
Ah.
So
okay.
if we go right here, it's 40 feet from me. I can get you in that bubble as well. I'm going to move right here against this zone, moving myself forward. Then I'm going to use one of my spaces of movement to enter this zone right here and zoop all the way to this side.
Okay.
Yeah.
So am I able to stick next to Anomaly?
Ooh, I think you should.
Okay, I would like to because
So,
I need to make up for what I did to you.
Because the grenade happened right here, keeping you inside. You can move to any point within the 40 feet. So go ahead and move yourself right there, buddy.
Okay.
There you are. And if you ever need to get on the other side of those witches, zoop forward.
Now, I do think this has the unfortunate effect that if it teleports Unbreakable, that does break Unbreakable.
It would, but I can just choose not to move him.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to
I'm
be
not
moved?
sure because the wording of it is if I move during my turn.
Oh, if it says during your turn, then I think you're okay.
Wait, does it say during your turn so I can just zoop your swarm wherever you want?
That'd be hilarious. I think that's. I'm not sure.
Right,
So
because there's definitely places where it says if you move no matter what, even if it's involuntary, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah,
it's
okay,
okay.
for each
I think
turn your
you-
mech remains
No.
immobile past the first.
Yeah, unfortunately, I did just look it up, and it does say if your mech moves even involuntarily, the effect ends.
Okay, so
Alright.
then yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna say the hell put.
Yeah, you're going to stay where you are. Mothman, you can go ahead wherever you wish to be.
Yeah,
you
I'm
wanna-
thinking about it. I might not.
You might not move.
Yeah, because if I do, I lose the invisibility I have.
There still is one more Spectre behind our lines, though.
Yeah,
As far as
and I
you
wanted
know,
to get
anyway.
as far away from that as I could.
And if you're not next to someone, you're taking extra damage.
if it hits, because
That's probably true. Yeah.
Yeah. At least nestle into someone.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go just right next to Unbreakable.
Yo, I just realized how terrible I am. Getting close, or else you get shanked. But if you get in close, I'm gonna launch a mortar at you.
It's almost like
Oh,
I designed this encounter with this in
Oh.
mind.
it's really fun, isn't it?
That's devious.
And I actually really want them to get close to me.
Yeah, and I can also move the drones as well. So if you guys want those drones anywhere,
We might want to move the invisibility or the scout drone then, so it's
Yeah.
covering.
Yeah,
do
absolutely.
that.
Move the scout drone.
all right, the scout drone. I think right here, guys. So it's got to be within that 40 feet of approximately this square.
Mm-hmm.
So right here.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, so that way it can, just wreck that guy if he decides to come at you.
This battle map is looking like a Picasso painting.
Right.
Cubism.
Yeah, I really just shuffled everything. It's like, everywhere.
Change
Oh my god.
places.
This is 100% going to be why the other squads don't want to work with us.
You're too reckless.
I said we're not reckless enough.
Oh my god.
And if that wasn't bad enough,
Do you
Yeah,
overcharge
why?
and do something?
I'm going to overcharge. Yes, of course. I'll set my heat to 1, and I'm going to take out my brand new, shiny, fancy warp rifle.
Ooh.
Yes, and I will shoot my warp rifle and expose its effects if I hit. Do you mind if I take out that lock-on?
Go for
Eat it.
All right, I'll take that lock-on to grant my systems 1 accuracy.
If you shoot, you kill.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because I think every kill so far has been Saints.
All right, first
He has a
shot,
big gun.
second shot.
Holy
Ooh,
crap.
oh!
Holy crap.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
That's
Oh,
a dead
the
witch
crit.
right there. So, describe how you kill it. I'll start
All
doing
right.
that. How would you like
So
to
you-
kill it?
Anomaly flips over his warp rifle, right? Takes it, points it with one hand at the witch. The witch comes flying at him, warping through space and time as it's missing its head, right? Leaving its head behind to clatter to the ground right behind. As it moves into Anomaly's fist, he shoves his hand through its chest, warping space and time around it.
Now, this is going to be very important from a role-playing perspective. Are you trying to get the occupant out?
If I can hold it, and if I can kill him without killing him, then yes.
I would say you can, but I need you to make me an agility save, please. Otherwise, you will squish him.
All right, then. I think that's a fair choice. There's no wrong answer here, guys, right?
You squish him.
Ooh, yeah.
Rip.
Yeah, his
One
head...
less shitty pirate in this universe.
Yeah, I was going to say, so as you grab him, you're like, I got him, guys! And then his head pops off, and you're like,
Yeah,
oh.
like he dissolves into mush in my hands. Ooh, I think I'm gonna have to harmonize the transference field on this one.
Okay, that was
Ooh.
brutal.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah,
Sick.
yes.
Saint witnesses that right in front of his pit, and he just goes quiet for a little bit.
As one would.
Ooh.
All right.
And then my second attack, I'd throw the drone nexus against this guy.
Okay, yeah, a 16 will hit. So, yeah, you do 2 damage to that witch.
Yes. I'll ping it a little bit.
Yeah, bounces off a little bit. All right, anything else?
Is that a main ox mount?
Yes, it is.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah, anything else? No.
I don't think I get the choice to.
Excellent.
Oh, I gotta move 3 spaces actually.
Ooh,
Zoop!
nice.
You're going away from me?
Oh shit, you're right. Zoop.
We just talked about this.
Yeah, we just had a discussion. Yeah, you're right. I'm ignoring the memo.
Well, I'm not going to say that was a good idea, but it probably was, because on the pirate's turn, instead of one near you popping up, there is one that appears over here, far to the west. And again, it's hard to, on a large map, get everything for the stream, so my apologies for that, but there we go. I think we can see most things now.
What is he doing all the way over there?
Yeah, so this guy all the way over here is going to do something special. He is going to launch borer missiles at Tempest. Now, as far as I read this, Tempest, I just choose someone in range 10. And 1d3 miniature drones are attached to the target and begin boring into the mech's interior. So let's roll for
Ooh,
that
they're
first.
pirates.
Ah, the interior, my one weakness.
All right, so 2 drones. Now, this is going to be important, so I'm going to put 2 dots on you. We'll do those 2 dots.
They're going for the nougat center.
In 1d6 plus 3 rounds, if there are any still attached to the target, they bore inside the cockpit and savage the pilot, reducing them to 0 HP and forcing them to make a down and out check.
My other only weakness.
A single drone can be removed by making a successful systems or engineering skill check as a quick action on your turn, and an adjacent ally can also make this check. You can also confuse the drones by shutting your mech down, and this will pause the timer, but it will not stop the timer. So let me roll for how many rounds you've got. You've got 6 rounds, so you're probably okay. So
Tempest is good at engineering, right?
Yeah, I should be okay.
6 on you.
Oh my god.
And that is the Spectre's turn. Since it's a full action, it can't go back into hiding. So at this point, the only one of you that hasn't gone is Shadow. So Shadow, for her turn, is going to do something a little bit interesting. She is going to link systems with Unbreakable. So this golden beam of energy comes from the palm of Shadow's mech's hands. And what this does is that as long as you stay within 5 range of Shadow Unbreakable, you get +1 accuracy on all attacks, and you can use the priest's system score. You can use Shadow's system score for all skill checks and saves it makes. However, if either of you becomes jammed, impaired, shut down, or stunned, you both are. Now, you can just walk 5 away and the link will break, but that's what happens. So Shadow says, here, take... Oh, hold on. Drone flying overhead. Because, 10 o'clock at night, perfect time to fly over a residential area. But yeah, so Shadow says, here, take my support. I feel like we're not alone back here. And that is Shadow's turn. And that means that there's only one Spectre who hasn't gone yet. And that means that this Spectre comes up over here and is going to do his borer missiles. So, Saint, how you doing, buddy?
Shit. My generic is terrible.
So you're going to get 2 of these things. And let's see how many rounds you get. D6 plus 3. You apparently get 9 rounds.
That's fine.
I mean, to be fair, it's a lot to bore through.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Brick shithouse. If the bricks were made of plasteel.
All right, so that is the end of the round, which means I need everyone to reduce by 1 heat, and if you aren't able to reduce by 1 heat, I do need to know that.
Yeah, so Silla's going to be cooling 1.
So I think, is everybody okay on that front?
Yeah.
If this witch gets a turn, Unbreakable shoots back up to like 4 heat, right?
Yes, on the start of the witch's next turn, you are going to take 4 heat Unbreakable.
Yeah, so I would appreciate somebody lighting that witch up.
Yeah, it's easy. The Lich just doesn't get a next turn, right?
Yeah. Well, it is the player's turn, so whichever one of you would like to go.
Can Saint go?
Saint can certainly go.
Saint is going to hear the clunk of all those boar missiles and say, your silly tricks aren't going to work on me. As he's going to swing his heavy machine gun around and begin firing at this witch first.
Alrighty. Unfortunately, a 7 will not hit it. That would have killed it outright, but unfortunately...
Inaccurate is a trap.
Yep, you spray all around it, and the witch just literally stands there hovering, and then it starts
Remember,
laughing at you.
lock-on is guaranteed, so...
Oh.
Huh?
Did it use the lock-on?
No, I'm saying that as advice. Like, you get quick action lock-on and skirmish, if you want to offset that inaccuracy.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. However... I need to use a quick action for something else. So I'm going to overcharge.
Okay.
And this is now a 1d3 heat for 2 heat now.
Mm-hmm.
It's starting to get a little toasty. And because it's an overcharge action, I can reuse the machine gun. Correct?
I believe so.
Yeah,
that's correct.
The free actions let you reuse already used actions.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
And just keep holding down the trigger.
And that will hit it with a 12. So close.
Ugh.
So close. Like, literally, one more bullet. One bullet.
Aw.
If that's the case, we'll morph it into a barrage and we'll launch a more.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah, unfortunately, can't do that.
Barrages are full actions.
Yeah, barrage.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Then with the remaining quick action, Saint is going to cover Anomaly with the Argonaut shield.
Okay.
Aw. I
And,
love
and
hugs.
And he says, "I'm sorry about leaving you, but I couldn't. I can't keep launching mortars at my allies."
It's all right. I think we're safe now, or should be.
Well, I'm not.
And that is your turn. Yep.
Yep. As
All right,
the
so
sound of scraping metal just goes over the comms.
Yep. So you hear the drones boring closer, and you tick down to 8. So, up next, as you probably can guess, after this jet's done flying over my house, Up next is going to be the Witch. So, Unbreakable, I need you to take 4 heat for me, which I believe puts you in the danger zone.
That's actually going to put me into reactor stress.
Same thing. But yeah, I do need you to roll for your energy. There should be a macro for that as well. Oh dear.
Oh, seriously?
Oh dear. Well, the good
Ooh.
news is that you suffer.
I'm exposed,
You're exposed. Yes.
which I don't give a damn about.
All right. Well, that's nice. All right. So for the Witch, I have
Maybe
to
that'll
see if it
convince you to actually try and
recharges.
attack.
Yeah, I'll say. So the Witch does recharge one thing, I believe. Yes. No, it's a recharge 6, so it actually does not. So what it's going to do instead is it is going to do something that Saint is not going to like.
Stop.
So, Saint, I need to know what your E defense is. It's still
Still
a 6. All right.
Still 6.
Just
Quit
wanted to
picking on the
make
big
sure.
kid.
You're bullying me.
You're the big target. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Ugh.
All right, so I'm just going to roll here. This is going to be +2. Wow, so
Whoa!
6. That's all I need. So,
What? Damn it!
you
I
are
almost got excited.
You are chained to a point within range 3. So you are chained. Let's do a red square here. You are chained to this red X. Which means if you move away more than 3 of this point, so I actually probably need to put it farther out. If you move more than 3 away from that point, voluntarily or otherwise, you take 2 heat and become jammed until the end of your next turn, but the effect does then end.
Okay. I have a bad feeling that you're going to move me.
Well, that's all the Witch can do on his... Well, no, that is a quick action, so I guess I do have another quick. Yeah. I will look at Tempest. Tempest, what is your E defense?
7.
All right, so I'm adding 1 to this. 19 will hit you. You only have line of sight to adjacent spaces until the end of your next turn.
Perfect.
So that is the Witch's turn. It is now the player's turn again.
Well, that witch has the 1 HP, right?
Yep.
I can guarantee the witch's death if I go.
1-inch punch.
Yeah. Into the stratosphere, as they say.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
In that case, I will use my passive to just slide up next to her and make her take 1d3.
Yep, don't even need to roll. They are chunked. No more Witch.
Does that mean that chain goes away, or is that still there?
I believe it does, yes. This only ends when the Witch is destroyed, stunned, or the scene is over, so that goes away.
Can't chain down this dog.
Okay, and then I'm going to move and activate my skirmish, or my lockbreaker talent to just get right up next to this other specter up here.
Okay. Also, good call, Stream Ninja, or Steam Ninja. You are completely right. I should not have put the red square in the distortion zone. Good call.
It's been swiped away by Zahando.
And then I'll just melee this guy.
All right, so he is invisible, so I do need you to roll me a 1d2. See if he
Wait.
hits.
Hold on. He's invisible? Because I thought he used the boring missile, which was a full.
Specters are permanently invisible.
Oh, okay.
You just can't hide.
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
can't hide is the difference.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, if they're hiding, I put them on the GM layer. So, yeah. So unfortunately, you try to punch him, and again, he's a wily bastard.
In that case, I'll take a second swing.
All right.
Actually, yeah, I still got to roll.
Still have to roll the 1d2. He's
kidding.
He's real good at that. All right, is that your turn?
I should overcharge because I need a heat.
Just crank the heater up to high.
Yeah, let's open the reactors a little and take another swing at him.
Alrighty. Still no.
Just kidding. This dude is.
This dude is amazing. Well,
That is it then.
yeah. So this dude, seeing all that happen, is just.
Oh no, you're gonna get shanked for bonus damage.
He's gonna shank you. Yeah, he's gonna shank you. So I need you to take 10 kinetic, please.
So he did have a difficulty
He did have a
because I'm
difficulty.
engaged with them.
Yeah.
Which did not get rolled.
Let me roll that difficulty.
Because I have Blade Shield.
13.
That's still a hit. Okay.
Yep. So does that structure you?
How much damage total?
10.
So is that 2 separate instances of damage, or is it just 1?
It is plus
I have 2
5
armor.
base damage, so you would take 8.
No, I'm not structured then. I'm good.
Alrighty. Well, that is his quick action, and then as his other quick action, he gets to move his speed, ignoring reactions and engagement, and become hidden. So he just vanishes. He just flies away. And you have no idea where he's gone. But it is the player's turn again.
All right, so if he's, would I still be able to lock onto him?
So what it says is that you can
You need to make a search action.
Yeah, you can use the search action to reveal where they have ended up.
But normally, if they're hidden, you just straight up cannot target them.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Which is why they're on the GM layer and why it might seem a little cheap for them to be popping up. But rest assured, I am moving them appropriately.
Invisibility's a bitch.
Mm-hmm. So, which one of you would like to go?
I think at the
Mothman, what kind of weapons you got?
just some the drone nexuses. But I mean, I can lay down.
One of
like,
us should mess up this specter before.
Yeah, I mean, I can lay down like I think 2 lock-ons and also keep them from being invisible.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Go ahead and get him locked on and get him exposed. Yeah, keep
The invisible one all the way up near Tempest.
No, the one down here, bottom left.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So we're talking about the visible one down here,
Yep.
because I know there's one more lurking around somewhere.
There should be one behind you, and we got one in front of us.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna throw a marker light on this.
Okay.
Let me just get to a tech attack roll.
Number to beat here is an 8. And marker light he is. So what does marker light exactly do?
Okay, so
It's
he
like a
takes
super
lock
duper
on.
Takes a lock on. All right.
He takes 4 heat.
Okay.
And before the start of my next turn, when an allied character other than me hits the target, as a reaction, I can declare the attack as a crit.
Very nice.
So I have that full action over there. Then I'm going to overcharge and get a quick action onto this invisible dude in the top right. And what I'm going to do is just throw the scout drone all the way over there.
Okay. Make sure to mark off your heat for that overcharge.
And then let me roll heat because it's like 1d3 now.
Mm-hmm. So up to 2 heat.
All right. Also, my turn ends, which means I can lock onto that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the hidden one, is he... Would
I
he still be
revealed
hidden?
him if he was in that red. I would have revealed him. Yes.
Oh, okay, so I just completely missed him then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, geez, okay. I mean, I don't think it can stack lock-on then, so...
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I guess that's really the end of my turn.
All right, that is the end of Mothman's turn, and at this point, the only two, actually, the only Spectre that has not gone yet. Actually, no, the bottom left hasn't gone this round, has he? He hasn't. Yeah, because he only launched the Borer missiles. So for his turn, he is going to actually do something pretty standard. He is going to prowl, which means he becomes hidden, which I'm pretty sure you can still lock on, question mark?
I mean, he's not going to lose it if...
Yeah, the lock-on stays.
Right. All right, so you still
Actually,
know
let me-
he's here. I won't put him on the GM layer. But he can move to there, and then I think that's all he can do. Yeah, that's all he can do. All right, so he's hidden. So right now you can't target him, technically, I think. You know
Correct.
he's
Yeah,
there.
I don't think lock-on like reveals him.
Right.
Right, so you know he's there. You just can't target him. But yeah, it is the player's turn again. So Unbreakable, Tempest, Shadow, Anomaly.
I think I should take.
Okay.
I also have a plan.
I was going to. My idea. Him and then.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, you're breaking in and
Ooh,
out.
am I? Ooh, unfortunate.
Oh, you're
My
fixing
plan
it.
would be. Am I good?
Yep, I think you're good.
All right, 100%. My plan was to to search for him and then teleport him into you. And
Teleport him into who?
into Unbreakable.
Ooh. Just put him in the deep end.
Yep.
Drone
The
units.
kiddie pool.
That's not a
The
bad
fun
plan.
part is he can't hide while he's engaged with me.
Oh, that's true. I wouldn't even need to use my search action. I'll just throw a grenade and throw him at you.
Well, no,
You just have
he's
to-
not
you have
engaged
to hit
with
him.
me yet.
No, it's just a grenade, so it's a blast 4.
Yeah, so he could target the terrain because you know where he is. You could target the terrain so the blast would still hit him, but you couldn't target him directly.
Yeah,
Right.
or I could throw Mothman at him because he can't be engaged and hidden.
No, teleport him to me. I've got a plan.
Yeah, well, he gets an engineering check to resist it. So
Yeah.
All
if
right.
that fails, I'm going to throw Mothman at him to automatically reveal him.
So
That way you
he
can move on your turn and kill him.
Gets
You're gonna throw the sensor mech at him?
I'm going to throw the sensor mech at him.
Oh my god.
All
It'd be
right.
great. Unless Tempest wants to use... The guy up here already went, right? So Tempest
Yeah.
is limited to being...
That should be okay for this
structured.
turn.
Yeah. Alright. I think I shall make do. So I can throw my warp grenade. It's thrown 10. So Anomaly kind of raises up the hood of his mech to reveal a large singularity and hucks up a grenade out of the mech directly at the Spectre.
Mhm.
I'm going to throw it right here to allow my allies a breadth of movement. So that Engineering Spectre, go ahead and make me an engineering check.
He fails.
Fancy. So the Spectre is going to get placed, I want to say, right here?
That
Right
is
here,
perfect.
Yes. Directly in engagement with Unbreakable.
Uh-oh.
Alright, and that's my first quick action. And that means he loses the hidden status, right? Since he's in engagement.
And moving does count, even if it's involuntary. That does count as moving.
Well, I think the difference here is that it's a teleport, not a move. Because
Teleports are still move.
Still count as a move? All right. Well, in that
Counts
case,
as
yeah.
moving one movement.
So what does he take? Because I know he takes damage for being in your cloud.
All right, so he is in my. Oh, he's in a real bad spot. How many turns have I been standing still?
Oh,
This
yeah,
is this is second turn.
This is the second turn.
Total.
So.
A lot
That's
of stuff.
6. And then another 2 from my passive.
So that's a total of what?
9.
Total of 9 damage. Would you like to throw maybe one more nanobot at him?
Wow, Sunzi and a Baylor is a real interesting combo.
Yeah.
It means he's really struggling, right? He's very hurt in his mech.
Yeah.
So he ends up close to me where it's been looking like there's just been this really intense snowstorm. But as he pops up next to me, it's not a snowstorm. It just starts.
Let me look into my bag of tricks to see what I can cap this guy with.
Mhm.
I think I need to also overcharge to get you guys moving where we need to go.
I think once we clean these guys up, I think we're over and done.
Yeah, there's one more specter.
Yep. And is that the end of your turn, Anomaly?
Not quite. I'm going to
Throw a
open up
rock at
with my blink space to throw a rock at him.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to open up with my blink space Tellurian to try to make a skirmish action against the specter.
Go for it.
Does this guy technically have cover from this?
Oh, he totally would, wouldn't he?
But he does still have the lock on, so you negate that.
Yes, and in fact, I'm going to use my armsman trait. Right, you see me rip open a bag of ammo and kind of just dump it into the Tellurion, which opens up with a hungry maw, like a gravity well that sucks up this magnetic ammo. And I'm going to take 2 heat to fire it as a blast 1 weapon.
Oh boy.
All right, allowing me to use arcing to move it over the cover, and then the blast weapon to take cover away from him.
Alrighty.
Right, because it'll take it from the side. He has lock on, right?
He does.
So I'll consume that for 1 accuracy, and this is a smart weapon, meaning it rolls against its E-defense.
Oh, nice.
This is also marker light, so it's going to be...
Yeah,
auto
so
charge,
I can just
yeah.
make
It'll
it
be
a crit
if it hits.
Oh, it's a
Yes,
marker
sir.
light?
How
Wow.
do you kill it? How do you-
This guy's
He's dead.
dead.
He's dead.
It's dead?
He's
All
dead.
right, well,
He's super dead.
the blink space Tellurion lights up along my anomalies, throwing up several kind of wells and reactor vents, and his body condenses into a singularity point as his mech becomes, kind of like a caricature of itself. Its legs condensing into a singular point in space. As I burn Armsman to throw a huge glob of blink space energy at him.
Very nice.
This dude just absolutely had no idea what happened to him.
Saint
I have no idea what happened to him.
Saint pops up on radio and says, that is not regulation.
That only makes it more fun, Saint. And then I'm going to overcharge to do 1d3.
Okay.
And I'll give you guys a quick movement boost. So I take 1 heat, throwing my heat up to 3. And I'm going to use the acceleration effect. Allows me to make 1 square. And if you enter this 1 square, you directly move to its partner square. So,
Now you're thinking with portals.
yes!
You're literally the hand!
Wait until I do my combo. It'll be great. I haven't even done it yet.
Oh, Lord.
Exactly. That's what you guys are going to say. Like, oh my god, that's terrible. Why would you do that? And I'll be like, because it was fun.
These robots are cool.
All right. So if you enter that purple square, you get immediately transported to the other side.
Nice.
Yep.
And that is your turn. Yep.
I think that's all I can do.
All right. So I need to do a quick inventory to make sure that we're all on the same page here. So the 2 witches were completely destroyed. So they're gone. The specter you just blew up was blown up. Well, it was basically black holed, so it's gone. The first one that was shot by the mortar is still intact. The specter over here to the east is also still intact. So that's this specter and this specter that are intact. Do I have that right?
Yeah.
I think so. This switch up here also got smashed with a warp rifle, right?
Yeah, so I think...
Oh, and also just gutted.
Yeah, it got gutted.
Right.
So, yeah, all right. So the reason I ask is because to end the combat, what you hear, well, at least Unbreakable, Unbreakable and Mothman, you hear the frame nearest to you begin beeping rapidly. And I guess I need to keep you guys in turn order. Well, there's no way you're going to fail 9 engineering checks, is there?
That's the question, isn't it?
I'll keep us in turn order. So for the Spectre's turn, what happens is the Spectres vanish for good? Question mark. And the remaining Spectres begin beeping. But it is now Unbreakable or Shadow's turn.
That is an interesting conundrum. You know, since it's destroyed, I bet it's not really in any condition to contest a grapple check now.
Probably not.
Are you just gonna yeet it?
I'm gonna Iron Giant it. Actually, you know what? I know what I'm gonna do.
Well,
First things first, let's, just in case, let me, okay, I'm gonna
Yep, you're cutting in and out.
Okay, first things first, I'm going to overcharge.
Okay. And as you're rolling for your overcharge, what I'm going to say is that Shadow over comms is going to say, look, this is probably the best chance we've had to take one alive. If you can get him out of that cockpit and, somewhere heated, that would be great.
I think this thing's about to blow.
Right. It's going to have to be delicate, but I believe in you.
Oh God.
Alright. So how does this work, OOC? Do I roll an engineering check to get him out of there, or an agility?
Yeah, so what I'm going to say is it's going to be an agility check to pull out the pilot without squishing them. And then if you want to either yeet the remaining mech somewhere else, that's going to be a hull. Or if you literally just want to stand in front of the explosion and take the damage like a tank would, then I'm going to treat it as a core meltdown.
Alrighty. That's what, 3d6? I can take that.
Yeah, but can Mothman is the question.
Well, that's why I was going to Superman it. I was going to grab it and just...
Well, both of them are going off, right?
Yeah, so both of them are going off right now.
That's
Alright.
a big no-no.
Yeah, I'm going to try and get him out of there.
Okay, so I need to see an agility check, please, to see if you managed to pull him out in time without squishing him. Fortunately, you go to pull him out, and you crush him in the process.
See, this is where
I think
manipulators.
what Scylla tries to do is she tries to manipulate the nanomachines around her to pull him out, but that inbuilt programming is just too strong, and he is reduced to...
Yep, he is reduced to gray goo.
Oh.
So that still leaves the actual say. So we'll say that's a quick action. So you still have another quick action, two quick actions because you overcharged. So what would you like to do for your two quick actions?
And he's going off at the end of the round, right?
End of the round, yes. So
Ooh.
I would say that if you grapple, that would be one quick, and then you could use your move and your quick to move it away. Because remember, because you're grappling and you're the largest character, it is forced to move with you. There's nothing it can do about it.
Well, yeah, so that's the grapple rules. It'd be, I'd grapple it as a quick, and then I'd just move.
Right.
Actually, no, since he had a hole to yeet it away, I have an idea. Since I have two quick actions left. I am going to...
All right. You may throw it
do
anywhere within...
Farther, the left one.
To the left one. All right. So you want to throw it over here-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
How big is
And then
that?
I'm going to grapple the other one.
Well, the other one's over here.
No, I thought you meant the one up at the top left.
No. So let me actually put dots on this so it's a little bit more clear. So there's the red one, which you just yeeted away. And then there's... let's not use red. There's the blue one and the green one. You just threw the green one away. The blue one is the other one.
The one to your top left anomaly melted.
Yeah, that I'm just... It's a corpse, but because corpses still provide cover is why I didn't just delete it.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to move over there.
can we get the witches pilots?
Yes.
Are they also rigged to explode?
No, you reduce them to not being intact anymore. So
Okay. So at least this
Is that
one
going to be
won't blow
close
up.
enough to try and get this guy out?
yes, I will say it will be with a difficulty, but you can try to get him out. And that's enough. You are able to pull him out.
And the nanomachines carefully cut their way into his cockpit, and he is carried away on what looks to be a wave of metallic snow as the Baylor turns to shield him from the impending explosion.
All right. So let's just go ahead, and as I look up the meltdown rules so I roll it properly, if I could get Tempest and Saint, or whoever would like to help Tempest and or Saint, I need you to do your borer rolls. So just a engineering or a hull. You just need to pass one per drone, and just every time you do, please make a note of it, and I'll reduce your timer appropriately.
Oh, I get to make a hull check?
Yep.
Oh, good. Sync just starts switching off all the warning signals like, yes, I know. Stop shouting at me.
So, Saint, just shut down, buddy. Just shut down. I'll give you enough time to work with you.
All right, I'll trust you. Saint's just going to shut his Drake down.
Okay, so again, I'm going to let you walk this back if what I say next is not to your liking. But remember,
Cold.
if you are not generating heat, aka you are not in an active mech, you could start freezing to death. So
Okay.
you would have probably 3 or 4 rounds as a pilot unexposed.
Okay, yeah, Saint says, not the best idea. We have time. Just work with me. Just tell me what I need to do.
Okay. That'll be
Will
a
a
backup.
hard suit prevent that?
A hard suit would give you an extra round or 2, is what I would say. That's how
Alright.
cold it is.
I mean, if we really fuck this up, you're gonna have to shut down. Then I can work with it because it pauses the timer on those borer drones.
Well, I got 9. I think Tempest is the one
yeah, we
in
don't really
dire
have
straits.
to care. Okay, so you do that. I'm gonna help out Tempest.
Okay.
all right.
So each time's a quick action, correct?
Each time is a quick action, yes.
Okay, so here's 2 hull checks.
So Saint, you just brush them off like they're nothing. You're fine.
They didn't even get too deep in the armor. This Drake was an excellent choice.
And then Tempest, I need you to do the same thing. Also, because I just noticed this, so the green bar is your pilot health. The blue bar is your...
oops, I did that backwards, yeah.
Blue bar is your mech's health. I was like, why does his pilot have damage? There you go.
That makes way more sense. I was like, man, my health is really low after taking one hit.
All right, so yeah, roll me your 2 quick, and let's see what happens. Again, it can be either hull or engineering. All right, so your timer goes down because you're at what, 5 at the moment. Your timer goes down to a 4.
Yeah. I cannot actually reach these things.
Here, bend down for me. Yeah, like no, not like that. Yeah,
Like this?
like that. You got it. Oh, ooh.
Ooh, apparently not. And yeah, what's going to happen is as all this goes off, Unbreakable, I need you to roll me an agility save. And if you pass, you are going to half the damage I'm rolling. All right, so you're going to take full damage here.
Ooh, that roll actually had difficulty. I would have passed that one for the borer missiles.
Oh, okay. So you'll get rid of 1 drone, but we'll get to you in a second. So,
I also had difficulty,
but
but it's still a 9. So
Yeah, still a 9.
Yeah.
All right. So Unbreakable, you're going to take a grand total of 17 explosive damage. So you have, what, 2 armor?
I have no armor, but I have 22 health.
Okay, so you have no armor, but you're still exposed.
Oh no!
So I think I just beat my own damage record. I think I'm doing 34 damage to you.
Hey, take that flash fire.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mothman, as Unbreakable shields you from harm, you just see their frame light up as the Spectre detonates. And yeah, Unbreakable. I know that's 34 damage. That's at least one structure.
That is one structure. Yeah.
Alright, well,
Big oof.
only one structure.
Mother
That's what it
God.
takes to structure a Baylor.
It really is.
Does it just have that much like max HP to start with?
Yeah.
Yeah, it starts with like 15.
Giant.
Starts
Yeah.
with quite a bit.
They're just straight up like
Yeah, he chunky.
tanks.
Yeah, and then it gets the regen. So
Yeah, I regenerate a fourth of that every turn.
yeah,
What
and
the
then if you lose, even if you leave combat with 1 HP, it doesn't cost you repair.
Right.
So it's self-perpetuating.
Yeah, he will
That's
heal
rad.
back up. Well, he won't heal the structure damage unless he spends a repair, but he'll get back to full HP at the start of
Yeah.
this upcoming rest. So yeah, go ahead and roll the structure. Oh, you did? Okay. All right. What system's getting destroyed?
Oh, let me see. Ooh, it's probably not the most like mechanically advantageous, but I really like it for story purpose.
Mm-hmm.
That as that explosion rips past the mech, the tarpaulin that was covering it like a cloak just burns away, and you see the mech's like full horrific form, nanites streaming out of every orifice, and there is no mistaking it.
I like it. So that would be your customization that you got rid of. Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Very nice. So yeah, you guys are out of combat. You have gotten rid of all of the borer drones, and you may act as you wish.
Unbreakable, that was both terrifying and absolutely awesome.
It's very metal.
Holy
you just-
shit.
Did you just take a full core meltdown straight to the back?
They call me Unbreakable for a reason.
I'm certainly glad you're on our side.
He didn't even look at the explosion. That's badass rule number 2.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell they're feeding your mech, but Jesus.
And what you hear is that Shadow begins clapping, and of course it's still a frame clapping, so it's kind of a metallic clapping. She goes, "Well done. Well, I think you're well worth the money we're paying you. Oh right, we need to get him inside." And she points at the pilot that you've the pirate that you've been able to take. Come with me inside, please. And she leads you all into the interior of the cave. Now, as you enter the cave, you do pass what is essentially a heat barrier. So it doesn't necessarily heat the area to where it's super comfortable, but as long as you're within this cave, you no longer have to worry about the, environmental effects. But as you come inside, you see that it is very much just an icy cave, and in this area, there are tents set up. There's even like a cantina set up. A bunch of things have been set up to make it look like a functional ranger outpost. And Shadow just kind of motions for you to bring the pirate over to one of the ledges and says, bring him over here, then leave your mechs at the door. They'll be fine. We have a perimeter. Really, the only way in or out of here is where we just came from or farther into the cave. So hopefully, again, you brought weather gear. Otherwise, it's still going to be cold out here.
Shit, I can't pack for summer. I backed the wrong horse.
Just gonna have to keep the hard suit on.
Unbreakable walks over with the mech, sets the guy down, gets out, and she's in a full heavy heart.
All right. So, as you all sort of get out of your mechs, Shadow does the same, or at least she exposes her face. And you can see that she has stylistic anime hair because it's Lancer. Anime hair goes hand in hand. So she definitely looks like she has abnormally pale skin, like almost ghostly white skin, with these vibrant yellow eyes that if you were to look a little bit closer, you could tell that they are artificial. And she is, again, in her own hard suit. From what you can tell, but again, she's only exposed kind of her face from her mech. But she reaches down, pulls out a knife, and begins prying off the pirate's helmet. Would anyone care to assist her in this?
Yeah, I think Scylla's just gonna like hold it, like kind of just gonna sit on him basically.
Okay. So, Unbreakable, as the helmet opens up, and you all can react to this at once, this is what you see inside. You see a skeleton. A pure skeleton. No skin, no muscle, no ligament, nothing organic, just a skeleton.
Good God, what is that?
Did we do that?
Well, I guess that explains why they were willing to blow themselves.
Is that like from a Halloween store? Oh no, that's real. Yikes!
Is
I
this
don't
some
know
sort of
what union regs this violates, but I'm sure it violates.
A lot of them, yeah. Yeah.
Is this some sort of new technology that I don't know about yet? This isn't normal, right?
I mean, it's either it's technology or it's magic, and of the two, I'd prefer it be technology.
Very spooky.
Shadow just kind of looks down at the skeleton and goes, Well, this is just a theory, but if all the pirates are skeletons, this probably explains why they never die and why they keep coming back.
Wait, they never die?
Well, again, it's just speculation. I mean, it's almost a daily event with them attacking us. And, we hold our own to a point, but with the amount of mechs we've blown up, yeah, this maybe explains some things.
So if we've got this guy here, that means we might have actually reduced their forces.
Conceivably.
And
hello, can you speak with us? Can you hear me? And I'll bap on his head a little bit, on his skull. And
I need you to roll me an agility save, please.
Oh boy.
I assume he's doing that shouting voice you kind of do when someone can't understand you well.
right, he's doing the talk slower and louder when somebody can't understand.
do you speak Union?
Now, agility is a mech skill.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Yeah, would it be
Just a straight.
It'd probably either be
maybe like a pilot
fists
skill,
or
right?
face to faces or survive, maybe.
I would say a fist to faces would be here. Yeah. So
Let me look at my pilot skills. Maybe I have something applicable.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So I probably should have done that instead of the agility save. Do you have basically? Do you have a trigger that applies here? Because if you do, that would give you an 11, and you would pass.
You probably won't get your hand chomped off.
Could I assist? Because Scylla's got pretty good fist to face.
I think you'll find it more funny if he fails.
That is true. Yeah.
All right, so I just kind of shove my this guy can't do anything. So I lean against a nearby ice shelf and kind of stick my hand in
literally
front of
what
it.
happens as you sort of rap on his skull and says, "Hello, do you speak Union?" The skull literally launches up into your face and just causes you to stumble backwards into the nearest icicle. You fall on your ass as you scramble to try and get the skull off your face, and you slide down off of the ledge, and it's very humiliating.
Oh, good. Mr. Bones! I went off your wild ride. I tumble into the ice and roll down a nearby ravine.
When are you from?
Saint's just got his head in his hand. His head in his hands, I think I might actually need to perform an exorcism. I've never done this before.
And I'll flop onto my back, taking the skull, grabbing it by one of the eye sockets, and just kind of brushing myself off like nothing happened. And I'm gonna look at him and be hold up the skull to eye level and be "Can you understand me now?" As I lean in really close to it, grabbing Mr. Bones by his nose socket.
Hey, I'll take 2 mana on the skull if any takers.
I think I kind of wrap my head, kind of knock on the skull a little bit. Yep, completely empty, like a standard pirate model.
Right, and this is Shadow, so she goes, right. Well, welcome to the dungeon. Really, it's pretty much as you see it. you are free to take up whatever tent or set up whatever sort of lean-to or structure you'd like for yourselves. Of course, we do have an extra or two that you could use. The main ruins are down that tunnel there, and she points off to the left. They're deeper in. The good news is that, we don't really have trouble from that way. The attacks usually come from that direction. She points where you just came from. Or that direction. She points off to the right. And the ones from the right are usually the lizards. So, actually, we haven't heard from the lizards in a while, have we? Well, maybe be prepared for the lizards to try something soonish. It is more or less their estrus time, so they're probably not in a happy mood right now.
Now, we were advised that the creatures of this planet are very vicious and, quote, shouldn't be taken on alone. Could you elaborate any more on that?
Well, let me put it to you this way. Be glad you're on this side of the planet and not one of those northern encampment scum. See, the northern encampment has to deal with acid spitters. Here, we just deal with berserkers.
Berserkers?
Yes, you can shoot them until they are literally on their last legs, and they will still charge at you like they have been pretty much uninjured the entire time. It's actually rather scary.
Now, I'm starting to notice a trend with this planet.
Oh, dear God.
Hey, Scully, what do you think about the current situation of events? I think it's humorous. As you see, Anomaly is like piloting the skull.
Your
like
GM is taking 1 structure damage.
Is that a core meltdown?
You think that's bad? Throw a spine.
Oh my
As
God.
Anomaly pilots the skull.
Oh my God.
Is that even sanitary?
What does Scully think?
Please, no more puns.
Not to be a killjoy, but I think our techs are going to want to take a look at that.
Yeah, we do have some autopsy places available. If you want to bring that skull with me. Well, I didn't really get your names, by the way. You with the skull, funny boy, what's your name?
Me? Oh, yes. You can call me Anomaly. My first name's Galleon, but everyone just calls me Anomaly. Nom boy, and now Skullhead.
I'm just going to keep calling you funny boy. You, the other woman who apparently has badassery in her veins, what's your name?
My name is Scylla Atharas, codename Unbreakable.
Unbreakable, I like it. Priest boy, I'm assuming you're some kind of priest, bishop.
Saint kind of coughs and says, that won't be coming up much. I go by Saint. It's very nice to be working with.
Awesome. And then you, Mr. Robot. What's your deal?
Just call me Mothman. And you can see this Mothman is on the verge of losing his shit over everything that's just happened. We have undead space pirates, and then we just heard about having like Godzilla-like lizards on the other end.
At least they don't have atomic breath that we know of.
Bonkers.
Yeah.
They're just XCOM berserkers, which are still really terrible.
All right.
You with the robot arm. What's going on? I noticed you had like 6 different arms there. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, thanks. At least some of them are working here. He just kind of indicates to his one arm. Just the cold is really doing a number on this thing. But Tempest is fine.
Tempest. All right. Well, again, please make yourselves at home and feel free to use any of our facilities.
Huh. This is a real nice place. You can't ask Femur.
Oh God. Do you have OmniNet access in here, by chance?
We do indeed. In fact, we even have a Schedule 1 printer down here in case we absolutely need to print something.
It's good to know. Thank you.
And in the background, you can see Skill's mech actually start to, like, where it was burned, it's actually healing on its own with nobody touching.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that is where we come to the end of the role playing for the session. But before we sign off, this is basically a rest. So this is not a full repair. This is a rest. So if you want to do any sort of repair work, let's do that before the session signs off. That way we remember that it's happened.
You can also keep track of it on the sheet.
Yeah, so there should be a field for it on the sheet.
Yeah, so I will be spending 2 repairs to repair that structure damage, and then 1 to repair the personal attack.
Okay.
Sheila's just going to scrounge up another tarp.
Yeah, easy enough to come by.
I imagine it just kind of like, if you just throw something like basically resembling any normal tarp, it just like morphs into what you want it to be when it gets close.
Right.
As the nanites like reconstruct it.
Exactly, yeah. The nanomachines will just change it to be whatever.
So does heat automatically disperse?
Yeah, so he will automatically disperse because you can't like start a combat with heat unless you're one of the dirty northerners. It's we're just gonna call in their game I call you dirty southerners, and in this game I call them dirty northerners. It's great.
So for them, do they just keep accruing heat?
Yeah, they keep getting it's a heat every 2 rounds, so it racks up pretty quickly.
Ugh. Does overcharge get reset?
I believe it. Let's check rest.
Okay.
I don't think it do.
I think only full repair resets it.
Oh man, I'm still running hot. Oh, this is gonna be bad. I should have taken the autocannon.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is why we're doing it on stream so we can check.
Actually, I'm also going to spend another 2 repairs to repair that reactor strap.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll deal my
I'm,
reactor
I'm
as well.
not seeing anything that would indicate that it resets that unless I'm just missing it.
Yeah, I don't
No,
know.
overcharge levels.
There's only a amount of time. Yeah.
Full repairs.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So your overcharge stays the same.
Okay. 1 repair can bring back up to full HP.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
And mine automatically goes up to full HP on its own because Baylors are freaky.
Mm-hmm.
Must be nice.
And 2 repairs can repair 1 structure or reactor stress. And yeah.
And 1 repair can do destroyed weapon or something.
No, I'm actually not seeing that. They might have taken it out.
I think it's
Spending
2
1 repair can refill HP to maximum or repair a destroyed weapon. Or
I can read. You're right. You're completely right. I can totally read. Okay.
With that printer, are we able to print off any changes in mount
like loadout.
stuff? Yeah.
I would say that if you're doing it during a full repair, yes, but during this rest / repair, no.
Yeah, I think you can only swap your loadout during full repairs.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
Because I forgot to tell you guys this. So Shadow does give you all a little bit of something to work on. She does show you this mysterious script and says that her team has not been able to translate it yet. But hey, she'll take what she can get at this point. So you guys can look at that as the week goes on. But yeah, this is where we're going to end the session. So players stick around for a little bit longer. But to anyone watching on Twitch, YouTube, or listening in on podcasts or anything like that, thank you so much for tuning in. And we will see these guys next Wednesday. Later.